I don't know if I've ever played anything by Saga Planets. Okay, Neko Neon. I recognize that. Oh shit, it saved where I was. Damn it. Prologue. Okay, this is where we're at, right? Okay, yeah, this is back to where I was. I booted up the game, and it immediately threw me in there, and I wasn't prepared for that. I'm usually like, there's a little bit of like an intro type thing, but you can usually skip past that. You get to the main menu, and then that's where I would start, right? Like, that would be a great spot. No, this just immediately jumped to this screen, and that threw me off. So I had to reboot this so I could record that, and then it doesn't go back into it immediately. It saves where I was, which was at the beginning. Anyways, guys, welcome to Kinkoi, Golden Loveriche. If that's how you pronounce it, I have no idea. I have been recommended this before. You guys have said this is good. I was also interested in it. I'm going to play it because I want to play it. Even though this is not normally my type of visual novel, for the reason that all the girls are blonde. Why are they all fucking blonde? I think there's one that isn't. Maybe two. If you know me, if you've been watching me for a while, I don't really care for blondes. So we're going to see if I can get attached to the characters. Like, usually blonde characters are kind of ditzy and dumb. You know, they're good for entertainment, right? But for a love interest, I'll have to see. But we're going to go ahead and get started. This is the intro that I was not trying to skip. It's gold. Oh, it's voiced too. Thank goodness I don't have to read every single word. I got a Steam achievement. Onward to Noble Academy. Start a new game. Thanks, Steam. Just what I wanted. It's definitely gold. That golden color was where it all began. The aurorous contents of the box marked the start of a golden time. Isn't that the bonus disc, which I also have? And if I like this, I'm going to play it, because I bought both, because I'm assuming I'll like it. That's my gift to you. I feel like this volume is still really loud. I do apologize. Yeah, I opened it up to mess with the sound, and then got hit with that. Like, I think this is good. I think the voice, though, seemed like it was a little loud. That was how I was able to speak to that girl, and what sparked my first love. Aw. Gold was the only thing I desired. That golden color, a pure, completely uncontaminated brilliance. Crystal clear and pristine, that was the sort of person I strove to be, and nothing more. Dun dun dun. Just once, all I ever wanted was to take one confident step forward and be proud of everything I'd done. It's not like I wanted to show off. That was never the plan. So. Okay, we're just jumping straight into the action here. I like it. Hang on tight. I never thought like something like this would happen to me. It's easy to get caught up in the heat of the moment sometimes, right? Anyone would have done the same if they thought they were doing the right thing, which is how I'd got myself mixed up in this mess. No way I was trying to show off. I was simply playing along with the strange turn of events. All I wanted was to be golden. And all I can think of now, I understand this came out before it, but all I can think of is K-pop Demon Hunters. My daughters made me watch that movie like 10 times. And it's a great movie. I love it. Like, I'm not complaining at all. But all I can think of that is when they say golden. And as a result, I found myself sprinting through town with a girl dressed in a beautiful gown in my arms. And of course, there has to be a panty shop. There has to be. Because why not? Black suit number 1. He doesn't even get a name. He's just black suit. He's defined by his clothes. I'm really liking this music, though. If this game has great music, you know I'm going to enjoy it. Like, that seems to be something I really care about in visual novels. I never realized. Like, I absolutely, like, love good music. I just realized I did not read a single word he said. Log. Stop following me. Yeah, stop following me. I'm trying to princess carry her. Oh my. Did this kind of thing happen to everyone? No. Actually running around with a blonde-haired girl in my arms might actually be a rare occurrence. Especially if this is supposed to be Japan. I don't think there's very many blondes there. So I believed it could happen to anyone, getting carried away in the heat of the moment. Letting events transpire where you end up showing off, emptying your mind and making the most of the golden opportunities presented to you in that moment. By the way, if you want to know how I ended up in that situation, yeah, that would be nice to have some context. Let me go. I heard someone shout while I was walking through town. Just to make sure, let me check. Okay, I haven't used this camera. I actually bought a new camera specifically for the purpose of recording myself playing visual novels, which is wonderful, right? So I haven't actually seen how this looks to you guys. It looks fine. I just want to make sure I'm not blocking the text. Let me go on a mission I must see through before I had the chance to search for that voice. Bam. We ran into each other. Oh, excuse me. She has such a hentai sounding voice, and I'm having trouble with that. Should be the one apologizing. I thought she was a cute girl at first glance. That's all you thought? She's dressed like an actual princess. Not only was she cute, but her outfit left one hell of an impact. Okay, I'm glad he's mentioning it. Judging by her outfit, I assume she had come from some sort of ceremony. Upon her head sat a gem-encrusted tiara, which appeared to be quite heavy. It looks really light. I don't know what you're talking about. To top it all off, she had a gorgeous figure and facial features. More than anything else, I was captivated by her almost otherworldly golden blonde hair. Now see, that doesn't do it for me. It just seems like a Barbie, and I'm like, I don't know. Not attracted to that. Her long hair was almost as brilliant as the sun itself. I mean, she looks cute, don't get me wrong. And I like that she has green eyes. That's kind of unique. That was a moment later. Ah, no, it's black suit number 1 again. I, or the girl who bumped into me to be precise, was surrounded by more than 10 men in black suits. She shot them a hostile glare upon their arrival, and they cautiously stepped towards me. I don't know about y'all, but I'm like, black suit number 2 looking kind of fine. You know what I'm saying? It's because as I've gotten older, I'm like, yeah, I'm into the hags. You know, the older women. Being spoken to in such a rude, pompous tone made me wary. The man had already drawn close, put his hand into his breast pocket. Just as he retrieved his third black object, that was a gun in Japan. Come with me. Guns aren't allowed here. They're not legal. He can't use that. I didn't think I was in the wrong to take the girl by the hand and run away. Well, after giving some people thought it must have been hasty to assume they were drawing guns in their breast pockets in a society as gun-averse as Japan. I actually watched a video recently on how to obtain a license to have a gun in Japan. So the only reason you can really have a gun is for hunting purposes. It's really freaking hard. It's quite a lengthy process compared to United States, of course. But we just love guns. That's the emergency backup. May have actually pulled out a transceiver, but either way, I ran for it. Because that's what you do when you meet a nice girl. You just take her and run, right? From the black suit number 1, black suit number 2s of the world. Violent-looking men were chasing a girl. Wouldn't anyone want to assure her safety first? As such, I didn't believe I'd done anything wrong. Hentai noises again. Do not run. She lifted up the hem of her dress, and her heels definitely weren't cut out for running. Ah, so this is why we princess carry her. I see. Hang on tight. We'd be in trouble if she got hurt running in those heels. That much was obvious. As such, I only did what came naturally. I believe I had simply gone with the flow in the heat of the moment, but... Black suit number 43. Oh my gosh. How many black suits is it? 137? Oh my gosh. There's so many of them. So, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I said that, and then I looked down, and that's what he said too. I did not know he said that. Like, that was just my immediate response as well. It was a surprising turn of events. In a blink of an eye, what started out as only a handful and then quickly multiplied into the hundreds. If this kept up, I would run out of stamina, and they would eventually catch up. It was actually a good idea for me to run away in the first place. No. Because clearly you're stealing her. Like, all of these people are probably for her. She seems like she's like the princess of wherever we are. Is this Japan? I don't know. She wasn't resisting me the slightest, so I assumed I hadn't made the wrong choice. I just assumed. Just to make sure you do want to get away from these people, right? I don't know if I believe her. If that's how she felt, then I guess it was okay. Up. It would be bad if this turned into an endurance contest. I turned down the main road and slipped through back alleys, partially to throw them off. What are y'all doing? Even though they're huge convoy, it's time to keep up. We're pushing through. Hang on tight. She's just having fun. I think she's just trolling us right now. Like, you have to realize, like, if we just stole someone who was, like, nationally important, they're gonna, like, put us in jail or just execute us on the spot. And she's just here laughing and having fun at our expense. Like, the story's just gonna end immediately with us dying. Sped up in an instant. But apparently we have main character energy and can just run away from 137 black suits. Showing off by telling her to hang on tight. Whatever. Is this who she was supposed to meet up with? Her friend's just gone. We just stole her. Little out of breath, I guess. Shit, they're persistent. I like how, so I'm assuming black suit number 1 was that old guy we saw. He is ahead of all the other ones. This old guy is freaking jacked. Isn't there anywhere to hide somewhere nearby? After weaving through the back alleys of the shopping district, we eventually found ourselves near Hamamatsu Lake. Uh-oh, this spelled trouble. The perfect visibility and lack of roads, more or less, made us sitting ducks. Where? That way? Okay. I mean, I guess we're going that way. I have no idea where that is. We're headed towards the lake. Are we gonna go swimming? Oh, this is pretty. This is a really nice lake. Came across a hill near Hamamatsu Lake. Given the abundant thickets, it looks like a great place to hide. Are we being generous? What do you have, Crocs on? You're about to put them in the sports mode? She slipped out of my arms and gave me a quick wink. Whoosh. What do you mean whoosh? Then removed her heels and hugged them like they were nothing. Filled up her gown and tied it roughly and securely in place. Gosh, so many music switches. Shall we be off then? I guess. You're telling me. I don't even know where we're going. She took no issue of getting her beautiful silken socks dirty, much less throwing her dress into a ball at her side. An outdated word popped in my mind. Tomboy. This is a perfect time for introductions. Yes, please. It's was it Sylvie? Sylvia. Sylvia Le Cruz Crown. That sounds like Lelouch v Britannia. Like, so you must be actual royalty. Great. I just stole somebody from the Cruz Crown family. Like, that doesn't sound at all like it's meant to be royalty. She introduced herself with a smile, thus sprinting with all of her might. A single glance at her face instantly told me she was a foreigner. The manner in which she curtsied and bowed her head was elegant, all while running. Okay, so it was Sylvie. I was right. Okay, her friend called her Sylvie. Apparently, Sylvia. Oh, it's Oro. Is that supposed to be like a reference to Ouroboros? Ichimatsu Oro. Okay, apparently our name means gold. Thanks. Sylvie seemed pretty chill for someone who's being chased by kidnappers. In any case, we were making our way swiftly down the road. I don't think they were kidnappers. I think that was just the people meant to protect her. And we just went in and swooped in and grabbed her. They are terrible at their jobs, by the way. Absolutely terrible. If we, and I don't really know our character very well, I don't know how strong Aura is. If we could just snatch her, they're not doing the job. Incidentally, where did this path lead? Oh yeah, we're at the lake. What are we doing? There's a road on a desolate hill. Of course, we're at a school. This feels like Hello Lady. This is kind of similar to how that started a little bit, which I did love Hello Lady. So if this is anything like Hello Lady, I would love that. I don't get the impression it is, though. Gates. A school. A massive building has been built on this once empty hill a few years ago. There's a tall, lavish gate that extended behind it. Beyond that, there was a Western-style palace that seemed incredibly out of place in Japan. Okay, so we are in Japan. Makes sense. This is a Japanese game. At the very least, I couldn't tell what this building was supposed to be. Should have read what the sign next to the gateway said if I was going to start drawing conclusions. Noble Private Academy. So this is where Noble Academy is. More or less, since I do live in the city. I mean, to be fair though, some cities are like huge. I don't know every little detail about them like that. All I knew was it was a school for the super rich, and that's why I would never know about it. It had only been around for a couple of years, but it made headlines due to a decent percentage of Japan's politicians and bureaucrats sending their children here. I'd heard that this was in the city, but I never knew its exact location. It was unexpectedly close by my house. I'm gonna think that I guess I had heard Sylvie's name recently, around April or so, I think. Something about a princess from some country was going to enroll in Noble Private Academy starting this year. No? What a shocker. When I turned around, I discovered a woman with unquestionable might burst from the building with an ear-piercing shriek. She must have not had the time to open the lock gate and simply leapt over it instead. Wait, that gate is at least 3 meters high. Okay, so this is a little bit of fantasy, I'm assuming, if she can just jump over that gate. As she shouted into the cell phone in her hand. What do you mean number 0? That's what? Is that like not supposed to exist? What do you mean number 0? You gotta start at 1. This is an emergency. Sylvie-sama has been abducted. Huh? That's scary. Well, you better go find her. She's out there somewhere, right? Imagine being the dumbass that's gonna have to write this report. Oh yeah, she got kidnapped and she ended up where she was supposed to go anyways. I didn't really get it either. But if my intuition was correct, I would likely be in poor standing with this person. I'm liking this MC already. He's like stupidly confident. I don't know yet like how much he can actually back it up, but so far it's pretty entertaining. I think I'm in poor standing. Oh shit. Did she just spank us? I was sent flying before I even had the chance to panic, thus slamming my head into the ground. My wrists were firmly bound and I was arrested. However, my eyes were left spinning the moment I had been hurled. So what did it matter? This is what I thought as my consciousness faded. She knocked us out. Holy shit. I mean, she did leap over a 3-meter gate. All I wanted was to be golden. I guess we're not going up. We're not gonna be golden. If there was a girl in distress, I would save her. That was the least I could do. As a result, I played into this foolish escape plan and got knocked out by a girl. You couldn't ask for a lamer ending than that. Showing off only caused problems.
Sylvia 様、シルビア・ル・クルス・クラウン、ソルティレージュ・シサー様は
My gosh, am I gonna have to pronounce this often? Sylvia Le Cruz Crown Sortilege Sisuya Sama. That's just a mouthful. You're gonna get called Sylvie.
ソルティレージュ王国王家、シスア家のご息女であらせられる。
The Honorable Sortilege Royal Family's House Sisua. You're a princess. Oh, we're back awake. Okay, I thought this was just happening while we were knocked out. Apparently we woke up pretty quick. The Japanese equivalent.
ソルティレージュ国の第9王女、すなわち我が祖国、ソルティレージュの司法とも呼ぶべきお方なのだが。
I don't know, that's surprising. I thought the greatest treasures would be on your chest. 2 of them, actually.
そのことは知っていたか?
I mean, just... They're pretty big. I mean, Sylvie's look pretty big, too. You gotta realize, like, she's kind of hiding them, right? But... Ellie's are just... They're just there. And, of course, she has, you know, armor covering them, because we can just build giant metal cups that cover those. That's very efficient, even though she's revealing, like, her entire, like, thigh area. First I've heard of it.
そうか。ではひとまず腕を取るのはやめよう。ボラルコーチェ、剣を離せ。
Oh my gosh, what is up with suit number 1's name? Boral Koche. The old man who had practically bound me from head to toe weighed me down and backed away with his saber drawn.
もうエルったらボラルコーチェにエキスナも誤解だと言ってるでしょ?
Gosh, she has a confusing name too. Exna? That sounds like a mecha robot. Yeah, you tell her. I'd taken every ounce of strength up to this point to not wet myself. While I was unconscious, they had tied me up and carried me into a room inside the academy. A large fraction of my earlier black-suited pursuers gathered around me in this small room, with at least 100 more outside. Yeah, there's 137 at least. It's probably safe to assume there's no escape. They were likely irritated that I had shaken off such a huge force and glared at me harshly. So I'm a little confused by what's going on here. So is Sylvie a lot taller, or is it just the angle they're showing this? Because I'm like, Elle looks really tiny compared to her. I'm assuming this is just a weird angle. My only ally.
彼は私が襲われていると勘違いして助けてくれた。それだけよ。
Was this girl? But to be fair, that's a good ally, because she's the most important person, right? It's a stroke of good luck that this princess, who is under the care of these black-suited men, was on my side.
しかしシルビア王女はそう見せかけて本気でたばかる気だったかも。
あ、それはあるかも。
She wasn't very reliable, though. The leader of the black-suited men had a scary look in her eyes. Ah, yes, let's just pan down to her chest. because you know we're not looking at the eyes here. We're looking at the it actually fucking stopped on her boobs. it panned down just so we could look at her boobs. And she was not only wearing a simple black suit, but some rather foreign-looking garb. Could it be rubber? It was finely soft with custom-tailored seams. It was designed not to hinder her movements, yet still protected her body from large metal plating. There's some very large metal plating. Wouldn't that make it armor then? Which meant that the long cylinder hanging from her waist was likely a scabbard, and that she was carrying a sword. Scary. They didn't even acknowledge her boobs. It just zoomed down so we could look at her boobs while they talked about the armor, because that was totally what you're looking at, right? Yeah, you guys are all looking at the armor, I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely. Why are you staring? Is she dateable, by the way? I know you guys can't answer, but is she dateable? Because you already know. Okay, like I said, I'm not a huge blonde fan, but for her, I can make an exception. Okay. Was that sort of legit? I wanted to ask, but I was terrified of the answer.
エルは美人だから殿方は見ちゃうわよね。
Oh, she's just okay with that. Like, she's just okay with us, like, goggling at her bodyguard here.
シルビー様。
That wasn't really it. But yeah, I guess she was gorgeous.
紹介するわオーラ。こちらこの駅士のエロイナ・ディ・カバレロイスタ。エルと呼んで。
What is up with these names? Heroina di Caballero Ista? May call. Hold up. Can I replay that? Is there a way to replay this audio? Favorite this voice line? No. I just want to replay it.
紹介するわオーラ。こちらこの駅士のエロイナ・ディ・カバレロイスタ。エルと呼んで。
I'm just gonna call you L. That's fine. But we're just gonna go with L. She is my.
そうね。一番のお友達よ。
A pleasure. Heroina. Nope, let's not make fun of her name. She was carrying a blade and all. So then, Sylvia-san. Sama then. We're gonna correct ourselves a little bit. That's probably more
そ
formal.
んなかしこまらなくて結構よ。気軽にシルビーと呼んでほしいわ。
Just Sylvie. Then Sylvie. Ba-bum. Sama.
もう。
Royalty. That word sounded like it came straight out of a fantasy, but was actually a relatively commonplace system in the world around us. We had an imperial family in Japan ourselves, and you could call it a democracy. Politicians were all like royals who concentrated their authority under a single lineage ever since the Meiji Restoration. Sortilege was also a name I had heard before. They were a small but powerful nation located in northern Europe and were said to wield an immense clout through their trades within the EU. I'd read about them on various news sites, and the royal Sortilege family was supposedly the biggest Japanophiles in Europe. I was gonna say only in Europe, because people here in the United States love Japan. We like
人のみんなはすごく優秀なのよ。交通網とともに外交の広がった20世紀以降ですら王室に危険が及んだことなんて一度もないくらい。
Mass transit systems. That does sound like fantasy. We don't have that here in the United States. We don't know what that is. Having reliable public transportation? Couldn't be. We do love to spread diplomacy, though. I'll say that. We love that. If you have oil, we will spread diplomacy. We will spread our freedom. So nothing has happened to a member in the 20th century. Well, today that changed.
歴々の誇りを汚さぬよう我らも精進いたします。
だから私も安心なの。私は王室といっても第9王女。王位継承権にはだいぶ遠いのだけれど、でもみんな私の護衛のために家族を国に置いて日本語までマスターしてついてきてくれたのよ。
我らはソルティレージュに忠誠を誓った者。
シルビア様のお身のためならば国境の壁などあってなきがごとく。
シルビア王女万歳。王女様万歳。
えへん。
Oh my gosh. I like how we're just taking a moment to glaze her real quick while introducing her. We have to just... We just have to start naming all of her achievements right here and now. They'll seem to admire her regardless of her social standing. Being a Japanese person didn't quite hit me that this is what royalty and guards were like. The sudden revelation only piqued my interest further. So what happened earlier? Anyone would be concerned after their citywide banter.
そうでした。それも聞かないと。シルビー様、お昼休みに学園を抜け出してどこへ行った？
Sylvia-san turned away with an uneasy look on her face. Hey, we don't call her Sylvia-san around here. We call her Sylvia-sama. Okay? She snuck out of the academy during lunch. The royals and knights who were straight out of a fantasy suddenly uttered lines you could find in an everyday school-based manga.
確かなことは申せませんが、シルビア様が常々近くのパン屋のメロンパンに興味をお持ちでしたこと。本日突然昼食はいらぬと申し出しましたこと。
Yes.
昨日そのパン屋が美味しかったと話されていた。
Gotta
語
have
学
the
友
melon
の木
bread.
崎様と一緒に抜け出していたことに鑑みますに。
She was speaking of it just yesterday about said bakery.
シルビー様。
Which we still left that friend, by the way. She's probably still back there wondering where Sylvia went.
それで抜け出したシルビア様を追跡し、見つけまして戻るようお伝えしたところ、予想外に抵抗されたのでございます。
市松さんが来たのがちょうどそこですね。
I was pretty embarrassed for showing off and making a break for it at the
だ
time.
ってまだ変えてなかったんだもの。あと30秒待ってくれればよかったのに。
昼休みとはいえ学園を抜け出すこと、加えて買い食い、どちらも学則に違反します。
Oh, you can't leave the school for lunchtime?
う
Lame.
ー
That's what I'm saying. Couldn't you just buy it on your way
あ
home?
のお店のメロンパンはすごい人気なの。3時を過ぎたらほぼ売り切れちゃってるのよ。
買いに行くのが難しいというお気持ちはわかりますが、だったらエキスナにでも命じればよろしいのでは。
You know, that's a really good point. You have 137 bodyguards. Black suits, if you will. One of them could have got it for you. But, on the contrary, it wouldn't have been as fun if she made somebody else do it. It's more fun to go for yourself.
あ、その手があったわね。
That were the case, then why was I still being held captive and tied up into a little ball? You still technically kidnapped her, my guy. I don't know what to tell you. The tremendous amount of effort being wasted in that moment left me exhausted. Well, I understand what I've done now. In a nutshell, I had shown off and barged my way into a world I was never meant to interact with. Will I be charged for
そう
kidnapping?
なります。オーラルコーチェ、凝結剤の用意はできていますか？腕は落としても命までは取らぬように。
They're going to cut off our arm.
心得ております。
Hold on a second. I'd finally got a hand on the situation, but I could seriously do without the blades. The older man especially had his sword drawn the entire time. I understand I made a mistake, but you're in the wrong here too. I was only worried for his safety. Don't you see that?
そうよみんな。オールはいい人だと思うわ。
It'd be a huge problem if I were to lose an arm over this. I pleaded my case desperately. The black-suited guards hadn't turned on me yet, thanks to Sylvia-san backing me up, but...
ことはそう単純ではありません。
Excuse me?
我らもバカではない。誤解であろうことは分かっています。だが、あろうで判断するわけにはいかないから、現在機構の身の上を精査しているところです。
Investigating me?
現在まで入っている情報では、名前は市松王子。
Oro. The last character in my name can be read as Ro.
市松オロ殿。
いい名前よね。
縁起が良いですな。
Ochi probably would have been a better omen, since that would translate to the Japanese word for prince.
おお、英語で言うプリンスを日本では王子というのだったわね。
Not that it really matters, though. More importantly, I was worried about how deep their investigation was going to go, especially with how much effort they were putting into comprehending the characters in my name. The documents Elsan was perusing were densely worded. It had only been around half an hour. Just how in-depth had their investigation into my private life gone?
市松オロ。宗教的、経済的に特に危険思想らしき面は見られない。
Luckily, they genuinely seemed willing to listen to reason. I don't know, they were just trying to cut off your arm a second ago. They weren't doing their job as Sylvia-san's bodyguards were confirming I wasn't the sort of person who could conspire or abduct a member of the royal family. Looks like I was saved. I was an ordinary commoner, as utterly peaceful as could be. Just a young man, the sort you could find anywhere.
先日インターネット通販で父親のパスを使って18金のゲームを購入していますね。
You caught me.
黒きバラの姫騎士ローザ、く殺せ、純真な姫は多くの種汁になど屈しない。何ですこれは。
To an orc soupy seed? Brother, what are you playing? Royalty had some impressive intelligence gathering
女
capabilities.
性を凌辱することを主題に置いたゲームですな。
貴様、シルビア様に近づいた理由はそれか。
Uh-oh, it's all falling apart so quick. It's not like that. Being a typical young man, it clearly backfired on me.
王女にその乱りがわしいことをしようという思想はあるのだろう。
I mean, on an extraordinary generic level, but not enough that I would actually consider it. Also, it's because she was a princess knight. The princess part was a bonus, her primary attribute being a female knight. Probably shouldn't have told a legit female knight that. I like how she's way more pissed at the thought of us sexually assaulting a knight rather than a princess. It's a huge
ね
misunderstanding.
え、テキスナ。凌辱って何？
不明です。日本語は難しいですね。
Very tricky.
調べちゃダメですよ。
Yep, don't look it up.
ボラルコーチェ、嫌疑はいかほどです。この男は腕を取るべきか。
Please don't.
まあまあ、落ち着いてください、部隊長殿。若い男の子、これぐらいが俗というものです。
Luckily, the older man intervened.
それにこのゲーム、なかなか評判がよろしいようですぞ。ほうほう、シナリオ担当はチクタク塾。良いご趣味をされてますね。
Oh my gosh, a man of character. He knows the writer. I'm always impressed, like, when y'all know, like, who the writers are and everything. I would never be able to remember that.
人気に押されてという面もございましょう。これだけで人格を判断するのはいささか乱暴かと。
That's fair.
まあいい。まだ嫌疑は不十分としておきます。
What was perhaps the wisdom that came with age had calmed me
父
down.
上の ID を使うのはいかがかと思いますがな。
Oh, that's the part you have a problem with. I apologize for that. This was typical for any young man.
他には特になし。
The scope of her investigation didn't appear to have turned up anything especially suspicious. She set the documents face down.
だがこれは。
She's still suspicious of me. This time, her eyes darted towards my confiscated belongings. Also on search my pockets revealing my wallet, smartphone, house key,
あ
and
ら、チョコボーロ
chocolate bolo. I bought these at the convenience store earlier. They were ordinary sweets.
いいわね、チョコボーロ。私も大好きよ。
Is that supposed to be Rolos?
でも変ね。
いちご味？おかしい。チョコボーロはナッツとキャラメル味しかないはずです。違法な薬の梱包にお菓子を偽ったパックを使うのは運び屋の常套手段。
She's accusing me of having illegal drugs now. Strawberry green tea and other flavors are regularly available in Japan. I mean, I think that's pretty well known, especially like Kit Kats. Kit Kats have like a whole bunch of flavors I've never seen before. You might only export limited varieties overseas
そう
though.
なんだ。10年ぶりの日本だけど知らなかったわ。ねえオーロ、お一ついいかしら。
As we're tied up, by the way. Go ahead. That's fine.
おいしい。
姫様、いけません。ペッしてペン。
This was turning into more of a comedy skit by the second, but I was still all wrapped up with my gigantic saber laid beside me.
久しぶりね、チョコボーロ。
昔からお好きでしたの？そういえば。
He just
ジーヤ
knows
に
her
はよ
history, of
く
course.
無理を言ってたくさん買ってこさせたわよね。私この子大好きなの。キュロちゃん、かわいい。
She looked at the character on the packaging, which resembled a round baby chick. It was most important that she had taken a liking to it, circumstances aside. After eating a couple of pieces, she put it back in my
ね
belongings.
えエル、私やっぱりどう考えてもオーロが悪い人だとは思えないわ。
I love that she was considerate enough. Like, she's like, okay, I'm gonna ask him if I can have some. I'm gonna eat a few bites. I'm gonna put the rest back, you know, just so we can have it later, you know? Just because I wouldn't want to eat it all or anything. We just have, like, this half-eaten candy. Yeah, surely he's not a bad person.
だって
Was she...
あんなに楽しかったのは初めてだもの。
Is she
物語に
stuffing her
連れられ
face
て
with it?
街を
Is
通
she
し
eating
そう
it
だ
too?
なんて。
Never had so much fun before, and gentlemen whisked me away through the city.
あ
Whisked away, the way she put it kind of made me blush.
まあ悪い人でないというのは根拠のまず彼とあんなことになったのは私が彼にぶつかりに行ったからよ。みんな見ていたわよ。
あ、はい。
それに誘拐犯なら逃げ道くらい用意するでしょうに、私に言われた通りこの学園へやってきたのよ。それも途中から私を離して一人で走らせて。はい、これが証拠よ。
She gently lifted up the hem of her skirt and revealed her beat-up holy socks from running on the
以
concrete.
上、こんな愉快な誘拐犯さんがいるかしら。
That's right, that's right. Not only has she saved me, but she was offering up a well-reasoned defense while keeping her cool. Despite her absent-minded behavior, her mind remained sharp. However,
シルビア様。ですからこれはそう単純な問題ではありません。
no. I liked her explanation. I think that was good. We'll go with that. What? Her defense sounded flawless to me. Not only was Sylvia-san batting for me, but all the black-suited guards surrounding us were witnesses. But
シルビア様のおっしゃることはもっともではある。思想背景の調査は途中だが、
my ideological
これはもう
background,
形骸的なものだと考えていい。
like, huh?
姫騎士の件はともかく
I like how she's so flustered by that. I do apologize.
問題は事実として貴公の手でシルビア様が我ら護衛を務める騎士院から強奪されたことにあります。例えば貴公が花屋から花を盗んだとしよう。わざと一輪ポケットに突っ込んで店を出た。
Mhm.
これは紛れもなく罪です。
Okay.
ですがふと落ちた花が一輪ポケットに入ってしまい貴公が気づかずに店を出る。
I think if it fell into my pocket, that's not stealing.
これもまた罪であることに変わりはないのです。
But see, the thing that matters in a scenario like that is intent. It wasn't intended to be stolen. It wasn't purposely stolen. So I don't consider that stealing if it fell into my pocket. Now, obviously that's hard to prove, right? Like, what if I like put it on the... If I put an object that's like teetering on an edge and then like I just sat there and then I waited till it like fell in my pocket, kind of like in a vending machine, you know, when there's like something on there. If I'm like banging on the machine to get something that's like teetering on the edge to fall down, that's kind of kind of stealing unless I had paid for it, you know? But I think if it just fell in my pocket and it's a flower, like who's gonna care? She
無論
mentioned it.
花屋のことであれば気づいた時点で引き返し現物を戻せば罪には問われまい。だが王族に同じことをすればそれは極刑に値します。
So it depends on the value of the item, you're saying, is the severity of it, which makes sense. To be fair, though, we did ask her if she wanted to leave, if she felt like, I don't know if she was in danger. We did ask her if she was okay with it, and she said yes. So I feel like we were in the right, maybe. I think we started out in the wrong, but we were made to be in the right because she said this was fine. Even in Japan, I'm sure the cops would show up if someone has kidnapped a little kid, turn themselves in later, claiming it's all a mix-up. I understood her logic.
我ら騎士院の伝統に従えば王族をかどわかした者の刑罰で最も軽いものは利き腕のいかがかな。
I wish she would spare me. I get where she's coming from, but I'd sooner not have my life or arm taken away
私
from
も
me.
嫌よエル。腕を取るなんて血がすごく出るわ。
No. Remember, they had the thing ready.
シルビー様ならそうおっしゃられるでしょう。エキスナ、公安はどうなった？
The authorities.
もういいと言っても市松さんの情報をどんどん送ってくる。収まりそうにありません。あなた2週間前にもエッチなゲームを買ってるわね。やりすぎじゃない？
Oh no, 2 weeks ago. That's crazy. No, that's not normal. Because, like, how often do I buy visual novels? I only get to buy one, like, every few months. Because it takes me so long to get through these. Maybe if you're, like, a really fast reader and a speedrunner. But I like to sit and enjoy my food, you know? It's like, when I'm playing these, I want to sit and enjoy it. And I like to be able to, you know, take it in. Because it's like, if you're just going to like speed run through it and get to the good parts, you're gonna miss all the beauty on the journey, you know?
ああ、貴公が逃げた時、この国の警察も同時に動いている。
Were
貴
they
公の
now?
したことはれっきとした国際問題ですからな。
I mean, to be fair, this is probably something that would actually happen.
留学時の取り決めで王族に気球の事態があれば日本警察は超法規的に我々に裁量権を委ねるため現時点で貴公の身は我々に委ねられています。
Oh, so we're just cooked.
だがシルビア様のおっしゃる通り貴公を無罪放免とすれば今度は日本の公安が貴公を捕まえることになる。
超法規的措置を放棄するわけですからな。当然今度は日本の警察が裁きにかかるわけです。
By the way, so they're talking about cutting off our arm and possibly arresting us for this crime. And just the music in the background's just like do 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 do. Just kind of funny. So it turned into a major incident before I knew it. Why is
我
that?
らが超法規的な存在つまり日本警察の関与しない存在だからです。
でなければ公安は対面上貴公を取り囲んでいる我々を拉致暴行未遂としてしょっぴかねばなりませんからな。
True, if I were innocent, this would amount to mob violence. They would all be guilty of crimes of their
我
own.
々と日本警察は裁量を共通しないわけです。我々があなたを無実にしても日本警察はあなたを国賓への拉致誘拐事件の容疑者。それが我々の裁量を外れた時点での日本警察にとってのあなたの立場です。
But couldn't the police also find me
な
innocent?
んでしょうな。あなたが国賓を捕まえて逃げたのは確かですから。
Oh.
日本の刑法には詳しくない。他国の王室に誘拐の権利がかかることをしたことで貴公にどんな罪状が課せられるかは知らない。
しかし日本国の対面上国際関係を重視して誘拐犯のことは最低でもシルビア様がご卒業され国に帰るまでの間は外に出さぬでしょうな。
取り調べの形でシルビア様ご卒業まであと1年
Oh my
半
gosh, the dialogue's just getting longer and
特例措
longer.
置として延々交流延長し続けて罪状をどうするかはその後ね。
Please Please give me a break. I assumed they meant I'd be thrown in jail. My life would be harsher than a reform school, and I'd be all alone. Losing a year and a half of my life would be rough. I definitely didn't want that to
だ
happen.
から今困っています。腕と交流どっちがいい？
Do you prefer your arm or jail? Neither. I went beyond an ultimatum. There's no way I could choose.
公安から寄せられた彼の情報が揃いましたけど、やはり問題のある思想は見られませんね。
ということはやはりあれは善意からの逃避行。我らも責めたくはないのですが。
Could you just let me go then?
外に出たら公安に捕まりますよ。
Please let me stay here. What a dilemma. I guess getting the approval of everyone here wasn't enough. With that, Sylvia-san put her fingers against her cheek and said,
エキスナ、公安の方々には何て伝えたの？
あ？正体不明の男に王女様がかどわかされたと。
This scenario is super ridiculous, but at the same time, Japan has a really high conviction rate. I think it's like 98 or 99%. Like, if they accuse you of doing something, you are going to go to jail for it. It's very rare that I feel like you don't get charged with something.
そう。じゃあ、
So,
こう
this
いうの
could
は
be
どうかしら？
possible. Sylvia-san popped her hands together.
オーロ、あなた、このノーブル学園の生徒にならない？
Ah, of course, the solution. We just keep him here as a student. That definitely isn't, you know, like, not a solution. Because, like, don't they have authority over the school too? Like, what do you mean they can't just come in here and arrest me? Like, oh, that's because you're at the school. We can't arrest him. Even though they also are not pressing charges. Huh?
あなたは今日転入する手はずだったの。それで私はあなたを案内してあげたのよ。
You were planning on moving as the guy? We were?
正体不明の男でなく、お友達なの。ジーヤたちはそれを勘違いした。で、ちょっと恥ずかしい立場になってしまうけど。
我らの恥は問題ではございません。シルビア様のお気持ち一つにございます。
じゃああとはオーロの気持ち一つね。
I still don't understand why we would have to go to the school. Like, why we can't just, like, say that, but then we don't go to the school?
どうかしら、オーロ。
This is such a, like, an anime plot. Moving in. Wasn't this a school for the super rich? It may have been a sudden suggestion, but it was economically questionable. More than that, I wasn't in a position to really consider going to school
ダメ
anymore.
なの？
Why? Well, I
腕か交流か転入です。
Ah, okay, we have the secret third option. Gotcha. I will move in. When she put it that way, I had no choice but to give the immediate answer.
やった！これでオーロはクラスメートね。
Everyone around us looked a bit puzzled, but
ジーヤ、手続きはよろしく。
yeah, just get him signed up. You have all my information. They have every single little bit of information. They have what hentai games he plays. They have that exclusive of information. To be fair, you can probably just go on, like, I don't know if he uses Steam or what he uses. Most people probably don't use Steam, but I have a friend. You can just go on his page and see what he plays, and I may have seen some questionable games on there. I'm not gonna, like, out him or anything, but I know what he's into more than I should. With that, the army of black-suited guards surrounding
了
us.
解しました。そのように処置いたします。
お願い。
はい。
I also love that she's just putting all this work on him. It's like, oh yeah, Boral Koshe, just take care of the formalities, you know, take care of all this work. I would love to have enough money and power and influence to just be like, yeah, take care of all that for me, thanks.
すべてはシルビア様の望む通りに。
I really do feel like the rich play a different game than we do. You ever just think about how, like, mundane and boring and tedious some of the things you have to do in life are. Imagine if you just had somebody that you paid to do that for you. You could just go out and live the good life. Go out and actually do things that matter. And you didn't have to, like, do your taxes and enroll somebody who you thought was a kidnapper into school at the same school you're going to. You could just have somebody do that. Wouldn't it be great? Dispersed, looking like they approved. This princess' orders were absolute. So why couldn't she just say, like, oh yeah, don't worry about it, and then tell the police, oh yeah, don't worry about it? Because she doesn't even have to do that. She has a guy for that, right? Like, she has somebody that can just, like, hey, just take care of that for us. Anime plot. There's a lot of anime plot in this game. There's 2 on her chest as well. There's 2 on Elle's. Lots of anime plot. It was still a little chaotic, but it gave me peace of mind that the old man with the saber had left. Additionally, judging by her invisible elation, Sylvia-san seemed much more relaxed and stress-free. She got us. She got me. She got me to go to the school when I don't think I even need to. Later.
シルビー様、午後の授業始まっています。お早く。
はいはい。
I like how she's just a literal princess going to school here. Why did she come all the way to Japan from Europe? I mean, I guess it's normal to, like, want to go to, like, somewhere different and special. Maybe there's, like, a better education here. I don't know. Seems like a really weird, random place to go. Elsan urged Sylvia-san along before rushing off. Come to think of it, it was just before 2 p.m. Less than 2 hours had passed since I ran off with a princess during our lunch break. It'd been a very eventful hour. It was almost nostalgic, as if I hadn't been using my time very wisely.
日本警察への伝達が済みました。外に出ても結構です。
Thank goodness. A large weight had been lifted off my shoulders, even though I was still surrounded by men in black suits. The old man was no longer carrying his sword. Looks like I managed to escape this crisis unscathed. But why do we still have to go to the school then? In exchange for moving to the school, that is. I'll ask this again to be sure, but I'm seriously going to attend this
手
school.
続きは私どもで済ませます。入試の類も免除していただきましょう。追っては煩わせません。
シルビア様がそう望まれ、あなたも肯定した以上、保護にするのは避けていただきたいですな。
Oof. It's a little unsettling considering how sudden all this was,
ま
but
あよろしいではありませんか。年齢もちょうどのようですし。
市松様は前の学園はもう退学なさっていますでしょう。
yeah. Looked into everything, huh? That's why I was strolling around town in the middle of a weekday afternoon. Sylvia-san seemed to have snuck out of school, but I wasn't attending classes in the first
そ
place.
れが労せず日本有数のエリート校に入れたと思えばむしろ得だとは思いませんか？
将来進学や就職を考えても良い工程ですぞ。日本国は出身校が特に就職に極めて重要だそうで。
I do get that impression. I had a point. Perhaps I should start thinking about my future. I was attending the city's leading school for idiots before dropping out. Transferring to Noble Academy was a huge step up. It wasn't like I had any lingering attachment to my last school anyways. Well, thanks for taking care of me all the same.
明日までに転入手続きは済ませておきます。
With that, the old man's expression, which had largely been unreadable until now, broke into a broad smile.
これで先ほどの行為は明確にシルビア様によるお友達のための道案内ということになりました。追いかけ回し、まして取り調べにかけた非礼、どうぞお許しください。
Brother was about to cut off our arm, and now he's like, ah, it was impolite of us. Like, you were trying to charge me with international war crimes and cut off my arm or jail me. But now, instead, I'm going to the school. Because anime plot. Both of them bowed deeply. Oh, wait, you don't need to do that. I know you were just being courteous and going along with the story they cooked up. But it was still unsettling. However, neither of them raised their
どう
heads.
か謝罪をお受けください。勘違いしてシルビア様の友人を追いかけるなど我らソルティレージ騎士員の沽券に関わる恥です。
Okay, we're just gonna go along with this.
私めの若い自分であれば、こんな失態があれば当該の責任者である副長、この私めの腕を取って献上するところですが。
Huh?
ほほ冗談です。
Oh, I love this guy already. He lived through this out of a laugh. That scared me. You mentioned something like that earlier too. If it were a joke, then I wish they'd knock it off. Were their sensitivities different from those of Japanese people?
感覚が日本人とは違うとお思いですかな。
Not at all. He saw straight through me. What a mysterious old
確かに
man.
感覚は違うやもしれませんな。日本人でしたら腹を切るところでしょう。
That was from a different era. That was an exaggeration even if you went an era back. Or so I
し
thought,
かし
but...
違う感覚は文化だけ。我々も心根は日本人と少なくともこの学園の建てられた意義と同じであることをくれぐれもご留意ください。
Sir?
あらゆる諸者諸行にはすべからく責任が伴います。人が生まれ生きる上で無駄なことなど何一つない。それがこのノーブル学園の根底。だからこそシルビア様はご留学をお決めになった。無駄な時間などない。あらゆる時間に腕を取られ腹を切るくらいの価値を見出してくださいませ。
Okay.
姫様のご友人であればなおさら。
Right. That's what I'd say too after hearing all that. Yeah, okay. I have a serious look in his face. I was left bewildered, unsure of what he was saying. Well, nothing is meaningless. Those words really struck a chord with me. Then...
ねえ、やっぱ遅れちゃった。
Oh, we get to meet the girl that got left behind. We was just wondering where her friend went. This is the actual friend, by the way, that was going out with her.
おや、妃様。もう授業は始まっておりますよ。
あー、ジーヤさん、ジース。もうシルビー見つかったなら早く教えてよ。探したよ。
失礼を。しかし私どもはあなた様まで外にいることは知らない手はずです。
Gosh, I feel like the music's getting loud again. Hold on. Nope. Don't
そ
exit.
の人誰？
Nope, we're not a new night. Hold on. Okay. Some of these soundtracks are really loud. Hopefully, like, they haven't been loud the whole time.
転入生にございます。明日より妃様にとっても同級のご学友になられます。
The girl eyed me closely. Was she a student here too? After dealing with a princess and lady knight, I was under the impression only rich girls attended this school, given its elite nature. She kind of looked like an ordinary, trendy girl.
あれ？自分さっき街にいなかった？
I mean, her name is just Gal. Which, it was like... Saki? Is that what her name was? I'm trying to remember what he just mentioned a moment ago.
ほら、1時間くらい前、駅前のナックでシェイク買ってたっしょ。私の前に並んでたよ。
Oh, we met at McDonald's apparently. I was at the NCDs before running into Sylvia-san, but I don't remember anyone lining up behind me though.
覚えてるよ。平日の昼間なのに学校行ってないのかなって思って。なんだよ、転入かよ。じゃあ今日は手続き的なのだったのね。
Yeah, I guess. That's how it turned out just a short time ago. The two men in black suits were forcing a smile.
私レイナ、妃レイナね。よろ。
Okay, Reina Kisaki. Or Kisaki Reina. Nice to meet you. Likewise. I'm Oro, Ichimatsu Oro.
オーロね、覚えた。
I don't know. I like her. She seems cool. Reina. I'll remember that. I will say, even though they are blonde, these girls do seem really nice. I definitely could see. I'm not gonna really love the princess. I don't think I'm gonna really like care for Sylvia as a love interest. I definitely could see some of these other characters being a little bit more interesting. Maybe that's just because I don't really care for royalty. My wife is definitely someone who cares more about like royalty type stories and princesses and things like that. She is more interested in like romances, right? That would happen between them. I care more about like the normal everyday people. Or sometimes I do like when the MC is a badass, like an Hello Lady. I do like that as well. I won't lie. She had a cute, ordinary face. Who was texting me? Oh, my wife said that she needed to talk to me. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to pause the video real quick and I'm going to give her a call back real quick. Because apparently this was 50 minutes ago. Alright. Sorry, I did have a call real quick, so I had to pause the video. Unlike the transcendently beautiful Sylvia on her elm, she had a cute, ordinary face filled with Japanese charm. We love Japanese charm here. That's the whole point of playing, you know, Japanese visual novels. We love the Japanese-ness about it. Though I do like some English ones, for sure. There's some great English visual novels out there.
授業 B は
Gonna miss
じゃあ
class.
ジエさんにオロトリマ挨拶までってことで
Alright, bye, Reina. She gives us a quick wink and turned away. You know, I think this school might be a good idea. I'm thinking this is gonna be a good thing, you know.
ああ、キサキ様。
はいあ
When he called out to her, Reina quickly realized what she was holding. It'd be pretty bad if she walked into class with candy.
ヘイオロパス
Changed it
あげ
over.
る裾上げ
おすそ分け。
それそれじゃ
Is he correcting, like, her grammar? Yeah, she definitely talks like she has a little bit of an accent, but I don't mind. The way she went, all she left in her wake was a round candy with teeth marks. Ew. Is it really okay for a princess to attend a school like this?
シルビア様の望んだことです。
How come every, like, royal Japanese school is, like, such a place for delinquents? All I could think of is, like, Grisaia. Grisaia was kind of like that, too. Just a school full of weirdos. In the end, I returned
この
home.
学園は全寮制ですゆえ引っ越す準備をお願いします
Okay, I was wondering. I was gonna ask, like, are we moving into the school? I assumed so. But I thought they made a comment that, like, Sylvia didn't actually stay at the school or something. Because, like, they can't leave during lunchtime. So I was... No. I guess that would make sense that they do live there.
必要な荷物をまとめてください5時にお伺いします
I like how they don't even need to ask our address, by the way. They just have all that information. I'm moving
規
into...
則ですので
The drastic lifestyle change was kind of overwhelming. But...
そこの君、話を聞かせてほしいんだが、
it's black suit number 3.
警察のものです。
Oh no, it's the bad black suit guy. We don't like this guy. He showed me his
お話は
identification.
こちらでします
ああ、
市松様は荷物をまとめてくださいね
Yes, ma'am. Can we date her as well? Looks like I know where to run. Afterward. When I got home, the cops had apparently talked to my parents, and they gave me one hell of a talking to. I didn't do anything wrong and made it a priority to calm them down. And explained that the thing they were most concerned about, namely the tuition fee for attending a super rich school. That's what I would be concerned about as a parent. I would be like, I can't afford this. I think about that with my own kids. Like, I have them in you know, in school and things like that, and it's hard to afford that. I don't really, like, think that I could afford a super rich school like that. Fully covered. Was that really okay? As a result, a dropout like me managed to enroll in one of the most elite schools in Japan. The average Japanese fantasy. You know, princess carrying a cute blonde girl from a foreign country, getting into an elite school even though you just dropped out of your delinquent school. That aspect piqued my parents' interest. With that, I ended up packing up my belongings just like I was told. You know, we have to leave the parents because, you know, parents only get in the way of the plot. I will say, though, some of the other games I played, they actually included the parents, which was nice. I'm trying to think, what was it I played? It was the, hold on, I'm really trying to find it. Do you ever just, like, scroll through your Steam games and you're like, wow, I own a lot more shit than I thought? Well, I played it on my channel. What is that game? My brain has just completely shut off. I don't even remember what I was talking about anymore. But I've played quite a few games where they've actually included the parents, and I always like that because some of them just conveniently leave out the parents for plot purposes, which seems to be what's happening right now. What's gonna happen to me going forward? Booted on my computer and opened a video file containing the diva Maria Bishop. Is that not the girl from Saya no Yuta? Is that what it's called? Is that not her? Ah, so soothing. I put that song on repeat. Starting tomorrow, well, things will work out somehow. No matter where I move to, I'd be fine so long as I can hear this beautiful voice. So she's not blonde. Definitely not a love interest.
金色ラブリッチェ
What? How did you pronounce that? Loveriche? That's how I would pronounce it. I don't even know what she just said, to be honest with you. Noble Private Academy, the basis of its educational policy was a pressure-free education. Pressure-free education, so-called education free of cramming that the generation slightly older than us fully enjoyed. Nowadays, middle-aged men and women were critical of young people having downtime. It wasn't intended to promote an easygoing education, but more so they allowed the students the ability to study something in their free time they had been given. It was similar to how teachers would give more independent study projects for homework over study break. They should have just called it expertise training instead. I wasn't sure what the end result was though. While averages supposedly dropped nationwide, more students won gold medals at academic world competitions. Well, in any case, upon its inception, Noble Academy was specifically tailored to this concept of a pressure-free education. Here in the United States, you generally call this more of like a Montessori school. Definitely like focus more on the things that you're actually interested in, which is how I think school should be. If I could afford to, I would probably put my kids in a Montessori school. They generally are pretty expensive, so that's the only reason I haven't done so. Besides, my daughter needs some special education anyways, but we'll see with my son. I would love to put him in like a study on your own kind of, well, not like study on your own, but like study the things you're actually interested in. Like, okay, if you're not ready quite yet for reading, let's focus on like your skills, you know? And I love the idea of teaching things that aren't necessarily just like your typical literature, science, you know, history type thing. There's so many other skills out there that you need. Like, I think being able to work on a car is a great skill. Knowing how to like fix things around the house. Like, I wish school focused way more on that from like an early age than it does just purely like educational stuff. Had it been only a few years since it was built, it certainly wasn't around when I was a kid, right? Either way, it being a pressure-free environment was one of those schools' unique selling points. The term itself was coined by all the political initiatives at the time, which promised to reduce the time investment involved in academics. The same politicians, however, did not explicitly state how that newly free time would be allotted to an individual's field of expertise. Noble Academy was one of the ones to come out and say as much, hence expertise training, which was why ordinary classes only accounted for half of the school day. The other half was allowed students to take classes in their field of choice. If that were all, it would only amount to a school with a slightly heavy emphasis on club activities, but at Noble Academy, these elective courses did not have a lighter workload by any means. There was nothing pressure-free about them. And yet the school had seemingly made use of its political and business connections to procure teachers who are experts in their field for those classes. Elitism was an outdated term, but it had been given new life here in Japan, where everyone held hands in a harmonious fashion. An elite rearing system, that was Noble Academy. It was said to be a school where one studied nobility. Well, all plans for pressure-free education ended in failure, but Noble Academy's expert planning policy was well received by parents who wanted their children to have an extraordinary upbringing. Elite rearing system had a certain direct, fancy ring to it. Politicians and affluent members of society had once gathered here. As a result, the school received a flood of admission applications from across Japan and exceeded 100 times the Academy's capacity, as it only provided them with even more publicity the coming year. At this point in time, not even 1 in 1,000 people were accepted into this academy. Is it really okay for someone like me to go to this school?
シルビア王女のご意向ですので。
Royalty was incredible. Oh, not like I could do anything about it. Better to just set my sights on graduation and dream of a bright and shining future. As long as I graduated, yesterday's incident would be water under the bridge. I'd be recognized as a Noble Academy graduate. It's vulgar of me to say, but I found the prospect to be very appealing.
はい、頑張ってください。
あーら
おはようございます。
It is a great morning, y'all. Great morning. It is wonderful. It's spectacular. The sun is shining so bright, so golden. Ah, hello. It was the princess and Lady Knight from yesterday.
嬉しいわ。今日からクラスメートね。
It seems so. It does seem that way.
私も同様です。よろしくお願いします。
I look forward to working with you. The pleasure is all mine. She's a little scary. And
グエ
what the hell? Who is this? What do you mean, Gwe? What is that? I caught a glimpse of it earlier. Something was walking around on two legs by Sylvie's feet. Was it a machine? I couldn't see it as anything but a toy.
紹介するわ、オーラ。私のお友達でキュロちゃんよ。
All I can think of is that annoying toy from Bluey. That, like, purple bird. That Kiro-chan for the chocolate bolos. It definitely looked familiar.
かわいいでしょ。チョコボールのラブリッチマークでもらえるおもちゃの缶詰についてきたのよ。
I'm familiar with it. Every Japanese person dreamt of having at least one, but 98% failed. I was collecting them too. But the toys aren't supposed to be able to
お
talk.
ー、うん。この子はね、うちでカスタマイズしたの。
Ah, of
ソルキ
course.
レイジが誇る科学力の粋を集め、人工知能を搭載したのです。
Ah, yes, of course. AI. We love AI. Swordledge seems less like a fantasy world and more
我
sci-fi.
が国の科学技術は世界的に有名ですよ。米国やイギリス、ロシアの軍隊も3割が我が国の軍需企業ベルリオーズの特許物を使っています。
Astounding.
ちなみにキュロ殿も今や可愛いだけでなく立派な軍事兵器です。
This thing is a military weapon? Huge buzzing wasp flew by. It was aimed right at Sylvie. Watch out! It just looked at the wasp and it just disintegrated. Laser shot up from the toy's eyes and instantly reduced the wasp to ash.
彼一人で武装したネイビー100人とも渡り合える最新鋭の兵器技術が詰まっています。
もう、キュロちゃんは可愛いだけでいいのに。
普段はそれで結構です。しかし今後は常におそばに置いておいてください。
This thing just looked at that wasp, said, I am your god, and disintegrated it. Just by looking at it.
二度と誘拐事件などが起こらぬように。
How are we not dead?
はーい。
How did we steal her? A pet and a bodyguard, huh? I'm pretty sure this wasn't around
ちょうどメンテ
yesterday.
ナンスの日でしたので。
Ah, yes, of course, maintenance. Yes, this thing needs maintenance. It just looked at the wasp and disintegrated it. Would I have been in danger if that thing had been around? Gee, I wonder.
即死とは言いませんが、ただでは済まなかったでしょうね。
It disintegrated it. It just looked at it and just said, burp. Gwet. Scary.
それで、時間まだあるかしら。
You still have some time? I don't know how much time I have left, but maybe you have some
30
time.
分ほど。
じゃあ学園をできるだけ案内するわ。来て、オーラ。
Yeah, anywhere that thing is, let's go. That thing is scary. I don't like, what is his name? Kiro? I don't like that thing at all. At least the one in Bluey just kind of, Chattermax, that's its name, Chattermax. It just kind of like makes a lot of noise and dances and it's, you know, funny, whatever. This thing just looks at you and disintegrates you. I don't like that. At least the other option was getting my arm cut off. Just like before I was getting dragged alone by a princess. What was that noise? It was propelled by small jets under its feet. This thing has jets attached to it. It can fly.
あれくらいは普通です。
Oh no, of course it can. Of course.
あっちが食堂、あっちが武道場。
Cool. Dining hall, martial arts dojo. Yeah, this is a rich school. I'm gonna expect it to have everything. Downside facilities were identical to what you'd find in an ordinary academy. But being brand new, the campus was practically spotless, but there's nothing especially unique about it. This looks like something you would see in like Bridgerton, like a super fancy mansion looking thing from like the 1800s. Nothing special about it though. More importantly, what was that? What was it? It was like something about this place felt familiar to me. Deja vu is difficult to describe, but maybe the feel, the wind, or how everyone smelled. Bros going around here smelling everybody, I guess. It's all like they jogged my memory.
でね、ここはグラウンドがすごく広くて、私マラソンで一周するだけでヘトヘトに。
シルビー様、あと10分です。
あ、いけない。
We were apparently short on time.
じゃあほら、最後にとびきりの場所に案内するわ。
Huh? Whoa. She tugged on my hand. I followed her and then... What is this, an auditorium?
すごいでしょ。
ノーブル学園の誇る音楽堂です。防音と反響は本格的な水準で計算されており、小型のホールとしても使えます。
Honestly, it looks like a church. Like, because you have like the pipes back there, and the doors look kind of fancy. This looks like you're about to give like a sermon or something.
収容人数が100もないのが残念だけどね。ちょっとしたコンサートができるのよ。
Okay, now who here is the music lover? Because one of these characters is going to be like especially talented with music, I'm sure. This place was... Ah, yeah. The interior of that antique piano. I knew this place. I knew it. I had been here before, many times. Wasn't this place a church? Ah, it was a church. I was right. It looks like one. Is that... Did they build this place and attach it to this building? Is that what happened?
地元の方ならおかしくはないですが。
They said this was built 2 years ago.
この場所はノーブル学園ができる前からあったそうです。それで学園を作るとき、せっかくなのでと再利用されることに。
Okay, so that would make sense that he didn't really know this academy existed up here, because it seems like it's drastically changed the landscape. So it was built 2 years ago. This is where this church used to be, so he knew it from the church. Because I was going to say, this looks a lot like a church, just the way they kind of put this together.
私も昔来たことがあるの。大好きだったわ。
Yeah, because I definitely feel like this would have been like pews. Like the only thing that seems kind of out of place was the red chairs. I've been to the church before too. So I feel like they're heavily implying from the fact that he feels like the smell of people is familiar. I mean, I understand people have a smell. I just thought that comment was kind of funny. And then he was saying everything about this seemed familiar. So he's been here before. She's been here before. They're childhood friends.
ここが再利用されてると聞いたのも留学を決めた理由の一つや。
Everything they said went in one ear and out the other. Memories were flooding back to me with each passing second. That familiar feeling I got earlier hadn't been wrong. Are we gonna go back to the intro? With the, was there like a ring or something? I visited this place many years ago and happened to come to the empty shore where Noble Academy now stood. Likely for camp or something similar. This was when I saw a dilapidated church, which was when...
ねえ、イチ、離れ離れになっても友達よね。
I wonder who that could be.
シルビア様、あと3分です。
3 more minutes. Gosh, I'm out of cherry coke. I guess I have to actually drink water. I've been trying to speedrun diabetes. That was my second coke of the day.
おっと、もう限界か。
我々は参ります。市松殿は職員室へ。
Okay, we gotta head to the staff room, I guess. I saw the two of them off. Part of me wanted to stay in the concert hall a while longer, but...
市松様、こちらです。
Yes, ma'am. First, I needed to finish transferring in. She had handled all the paperwork
教
for
室
me.
はあちらです。
Okay, let's go see our classroom. Probably the classroom Sylvia-san and Elle-san had gone into yesterday. Alright, I guess it was finally time. I'll be going now, Exna-san.
いってらっしゃいませ。
I'd more or less made friends with the black-suited guard from yesterday. Walked into the classroom. Class 2A. I'd be studying here going forward.
市松様、頑張ってください。
Got it. I'll do my best.
今日から皆さんと学習を共にする市松くんです。
Dang, is there a teacher route or what? Let's go.
市松王子くん。
Why does everyone call us OG? Oro. The last kanji of my name is pronounced as Ro. I guess it looks familiar. I'm Ichimatsu Oro. The new homeroom teacher introduced me as soon as I stood at the podium. Do we just need to like draw it better? Is that the confusion? Is our handwriting just bad? I bowed my head firmly to everyone in the class. There's another male character that isn't an old man? That's crazy. I'd gotten a good look at the uniforms yesterday, but noticed the collars were much stiffer than average. Either way, they look like a very docile bunch. There were some familiar faces in the crowd, too. Sylvie-san was waving her hand to me with a sweet smile. She's like a golden retriever. Just like, hi! Also, I was acting like an ordinary student. Maybe that was part of her job as Sylvie's guard.
何か挨拶を。
Oh, yes, ma'am. I will be joining your classes today. I hope we all get along. Opting for the extraordinary, extremely safe greetings seemed like the best way to... Tell us about yourself. We didn't say anything about ourselves. I feel weird saying that loud, but I was fairly confident in my communication skills. Enough to get off the aura of an easy to hang out with guy. Yeah, what happened to our extreme confidence that we had when we were like princess carrying her and running? I felt like we were supposed to be like a more outgoing guy, and here we are playing it safe. What a wimp. Needs to make your acquaintance. Wimp. Bowed my
ほ
head.
らね、庶民でしょ。
Yeah, we have no aura. Oro has no aura.
わかりやすいくらい庶民よね。市松なんて聞いたこともないし。
また庶民が増えるのかよ、このクラス。
うちのクラス、庶民の受け皿だなんて思われてないか不安
Gosh.
です。
Bunch of spoiled rich people.
まあまあみんな庶民にも寛容に。うちのママがよく言っているよ。
What was with all this tension? Half the class looked disinterested. The other half was cackling. They were laughing at me, right? Why was I being laughed at?
皆さん、市松くんに何か聞きたいことなど。
The teacher pushed the conversation along without a
はい
care.
はいはい。市松くんのお父さんのご職業は？
もうやめなよ男子。そういう恥ずかしいこと聞くの。私一度でいいので、相手と方というお仕事の方にお会いしたいです。違いますか？
That's your fantasy? What kind of reaction was that? While I was standing there, utterly
皆さ
perplexed.
ん、お静かに。
Oh my gosh, why does every girl in this have a ginormous chest? Like, do you guys see how it's like folding the shirt? Like the shirt looks like it can't contain them. Like whoever like designed these shirts must be like a master of clothing. Oh my gosh. The black-haired girl stood up from her seat. The laughter of one in the classroom immediately ceased and simmered down with cackles to amused smirks.
興味は尽きないところでしょうが、曲がりなりにも新しい仲間です。まずは歓迎しませんと、我々の品位に関わ
I
り
like
ま
how it said that everyone stopped talking. I still hear them, by the way.
す。はじめまして市松さん。私、このクラスの級長をしております。
Class
上下
president.
崎
Now
彩香と
we're
申します
talking. Okay. And she's not blonde. It's peak. I'm at the class president, Jogasaki Ayaka. I like you already. It's a pleasure. You seem like the stereotypical upper class girl. That's okay. At a cursory glance, I can see there were 10 other girls just like her in the class, but she had the biggest presence of them all. Yeah, the biggest presence. Yep, the biggest plot for sure.
城ヶ崎さんはテレビ局の星テレビ会長一族のご令嬢だぞ。お前みたいな庶民でもわかるだろう。
Hoshi TV, Hoshi Star, right?
あれ？庶民の家でもテレビはあるよね。
Oh my gosh, shut up, bro. There's that laughter again. Shut this bitch up. I have heard of Hoshi TV, yes.
あらそう。お気になさらないで。父は父、私は私です。
I love her already. She's like, hey, my father's a bigwig, but he's his own man, and I'm me. She's like, I don't need his influence. I'm gonna stand out on my own. Having giant boobs in Japan certainly helps. Yeah, so exactly. Nice to meet you, Jokosaki-san.
よろしくお願いします。
She bowed her head deeply. How polite. She really did have that high-class lady feel to her.
この教室は少々格差が激しいですけど、庶民だからって差別するようなことはないはずよ。ちょっと戸惑うこともあるでしょうけど、お気になさらず。
Okay. I'm trying to discern if she's like actually a little bit snobby or if she's just higher class like they're implying. I feel like she can't be too snobby because she's wearing that like piece in her hair, and I feel like that's very bold. So I don't feel like a really high class lady that's like looking down on people would wear something like that. I feel like she'd try to be like the super prim and proper. I don't know. It just kind of stands out to me. It's very brightly colored. The smile looked exactly the same as the other student in the classroom. She took a step back. Oh, good. Finally, all the background noise went away. I'm like, it was so loud. She gave me a spritz of perfume in a showy fashion. What did you just spray on me? I have a thing with people that like spray stuff on me because I'm pretty sure I can't remember what visual novel I was playing. I'm pretty sure they sprayed piss on me. I'm almost positive. I didn't think I particularly smelled that or anything. No matter how slow on the uptake I might be, even I could sense the awful vibe circulating around the
他
room.
に質問はありませんね。では市松くん、席についてください。
Will do. I don't want to start a fight my first day at school. Better not to let it get me down. Headed to my designated seat. Hey. Girl I saw yesterday was in the seat along the way.
よし。気をつけて。
Why is she always winking at us? A little flirty. Whispered something to me. Watch out for what? No sooner did I wonder, did the situation turn in an unexpected direction. Huh?
じゃあ。
I like how Ayaka was just laughing at us. I fell over. No, I was tripped.
おっと、足が当たってしまった。
I ran into your foot. Gosh, I feel so bad. What was that? Like 2 days ago, I was playing with my daughter, and like I was like holding her bunny in my hand and kind of like holding it away from her. And so she was like going to grab it, and she's like kind of like walking around me like that, and she just like trips over my foot and just like slams down on the ground, and she started crying, and I felt really bad. But it was just kind of funny, like how like cartoon like she fell on the ground. I don't know why, I just thought of that. Before I could even stand, I heard a roar of laughter from the class behind
気
me.
をつけてくれよ。僕のズボンはパリの仕立て屋に頼んだものなんだから。
Oh my gosh, shut
汚し
up.
たりしたら。
I'll stuff a baguette up your ass. This whole predicament.
オーラ、大丈
は？
Went to an unexpected direction. Oh yeah, I'm fine.
夫？どうしたの？何もないところでつまずくなんて。
Were you not just paying attention? Sylvia's-san, help me
ああ
up.
緊張しているのね、オーラ。急な転入だし、当然だわ。クルス・クラウン様がファーストネームを？
呼び捨て？
Oh, okay, since she knows us on a first name basis, everyone's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna start treating him a little differently now, okay? Sylvia-san seemed completely
昨日
unfazed.
あの後反省したの。あなたのためとは思ったけれど、結果私の一存で決めたみたくなってしまって。
Not at all, you actually bailed me
そ
out.
うそう言ってくれると嬉しい。ようこそ、オーラ。今日から一緒の学校になれてとても嬉しいわ。
And smiled sweetly at me. That smile lulled me into a grin of my own, and with that, everyone's faces suddenly went stiff.
と、クルス・クラウンさん？彼は知り合いなんですか？
ええ、オーラは私の大切なお友達や。はあ？
クルスクラウン王女の。
お友達。先生、オーロは緊張しているみたいだわ。私、オーロの近くの席に行っていいかしら。
はい。
ですって。ねえ、あなた、席変わってもらってよろしい？
はい。あ、はい。
ありがとう。
The guy who tripped me dragged his desk and chair away while looking dreadfully disappointed. I guess the princess was special, even in a classroom full of well-off young men and women. Sylvia-san's desk was brought over in its
あ
place.
りがとう、エル。ほら、オーロ座って。後ろ前の席になったわね。
Yeah, I took my seat behind Sylvia-san as she delightedly sat down. Everyone in class was still shaken to their cores. They were having trouble sizing up who I was. A commoner, yes. This turn of events felt fantastic.
楽しくなりそう。昨日から反省すると同時にずっとワクワクしてたのよ。オーロが一緒だなんてどんなに楽しいことになるか。あら？オーロ、ネクタイがなんだか変よ。
Maybe I tied it wrong. I looked it up online, but I've never worn a tie before. We're just in the school full of rich people that have, you know, probably a servant that does it for them. And we're like, yeah, I've never worn a tie before. I had to look it up. To be fair, I had to do the same thing when I was trying to, like, wear ties for the first time.
コップの形が変だわ。任せて。
I've always had a hard time tying knots. I don't know why. Like, just I did scouting when I was younger, and I always had such a hard time like trying to do different knots. I don't know, like just the way I struggled with it. I'm not too good with my hands, I guess, when it comes to building things. She unraveled it
こう
once.
して。あわわわわ、クルスクランさんがネクタイを。
Why is everyone glazing her so much?
嘘だろ嘘だろ。僕だってママにしかしてもらったことないのに。
I only got my mom to do that for me.
羨ましい。
Oh my gosh, listen to this guy.
こうね。
Thanks, Sylvia-san. Oh, she's actually trying to kill us.
あら、変ね。綺麗にならない。
I'm dying, I'm dying.
王女様と新婚3日目みたいなことしてる。
牛だらですわ。ごめんなさい。やったことがないからわからないわ。エル、お願い。
はい。市松殿、こちらへ。
Sure.
こうして、こうして、こうですよ。
Tearing my neck off.
我が校の全女子がマストで憧れるカバレロさんにまで。
They all look up to her.
やってることはどっちも殺しにかかってるけど。
They're practically
嘘だ
killing him.
ろ。
He's like, ah, they're killing him, but I wish that was me.
はいはい。転校生がしめ鯖になる前に回してね。
Oh my gosh. Why is everyone so obsessed with tying our tie?
ネクタイってのはこうよ。
Oh. This time my necktie was tied up nice and tight. What do you mean? The other ones were nice and tight too, to the point where they were snapping our neck.
いえいえ。
That's okay. I'd rather have Reina do it.
すごいわ。綺麗にな。
すいません。力及ばず。
I mean, Elle's okay too. And you know, having a princess, that's fine.
やっぱりレイナはファッションの天才ね。やめろよ。にしてもシルビーのダチってマジモンだったんだ、オーロ。
Well,
びっくりかよ。シルビー一応王女なのに。一応でなく
yeah, I
王
was gonna say,
女
what do
だ
you
し
mean pretty much?
一応でなくオーロは友達よ。そうなんオーロ。
Yeah, we're friends. She had to be, or else I'll lose my arm.
へえ。
That's an important fact
び
to
っくり
remember.
ビクタン。
Or go to jail. That was the other option. Seriously, mega shocker.
じゃあ私も友達だね。
Cool. Sure, actually, are you and Sylvia-san
お
friends?
友達よ。ねえ、レイナ。ね
They both smiled. So mismatched. Why is there so much blonde here? Oh my gosh, there's like different shades of blonde too. I do wonder though, is Sylvia and Elle, like, their hair is so similar. And they both have ginormous chests. Elle, of course, she looks like she had a better diet, even more so. I wonder if like they're supposed to be related at all. I don't know. Maybe the shade of blonde's a little different. Like, there's so much blonde I'm looking at right now. It's like it's hard to figure out. I do wonder if they're like actually related a little bit. Like, she said like her family or something was like dedicated to protecting the royal family. I don't know. We glanced over at Elsan's face. No real reaction from Sylvia-san's nightly chaperone. I guess she wasn't a bad person. Her oddball enthusiasm aside.
シルビーとオーロ、王女とオーロだね。ああ、すごいわレイナ。日本語のわびさびだわ。
Didn't seem to be on the same wavelength. Well, nice to meet you, Reina.
しく
She laughed in response. Unlike the cackles from her other classmates, her laugh had no malice to speak of.
まあまあ、ほら、クルスクランさんってレイナにもナチュラルな方だし、おおらかなのね。さすがクルスクラン様ですわ。
Everyone else was still in shock, but they seemed to have come to terms with the spectacle they had just witnessed. See, that's what I hate about like high society is like when they look up to someone and that person like shows respect to a commoner, they will, I guess, in return show respect, even though I feel like they kind of don't want to at the same time. But it's like, why can't you just show respect to people regardless? Like, I totally get if they're like crazy and like, I don't know, like mentally not there. I could totally understand like having some concerns and like not wanting to associate with somebody like that in society. But like, if they're just a normal everyday person, it's like, why do you have to be a dick? You know? I don't understand that about royalty. Or people of a high class. They always have to like look down on people. They're so classist. I guess I hate that as a concept, the idea of classist. I'm like, I like the idea that rich people are just the same as you and me. Like if I was to stab somebody and they're rich, they're gonna bleed just like a poor person, you know? I guess in that sense I like to think that people are a little more equal in that sense. Raina returned to her seat and Sylvia-san and I took our own seats.
オーロがレイナとも仲良くなってくれて嬉しい。
Yeah, for me it was a huge lifesaver to have at least a few approachable
と
classmates.
ころでオーロ、シルビアさんって何？レイナのことはもうレイナだったのに、どうして私だけさん付けなの？
Ah, I recalled what she said to me yesterday. Well, you know,
ごまかされないわよ。私のことは？
Sylvia. Sylvie.
やらしい。
It's kind of hard when she's correcting us pronouncing her name, but at the same time, like if the black suits are around, they'll correct us and say we gotta add the sama. She smiled sweetly. Elsana had a scary look in her eyes, but preferred not to be separated and moved to a different seat in the situation. Sylvie, huh? Now that I've tried saying it, it felt kind of nice.
では授業を始めます。
Teacher never interrupted Sylvie's conversation, then began the lesson shortly after. Oh, come to think of
オー
it,
ロ、教科書はある？
they said it'd be issued one in about 3 days.
そう。じゃあ私のは。
いえシルビアさん、前と後ろでは見せ合いにくいでしょう。ここは隣の席の僕の出番かと。
Alright, is this gonna be our wingman?
菊千代くん。そうね、お願いするわ。
Kikuchio.
オーロ、こちら録音寺菊千代くん。
Rokonji Kikyo-chu-kun.
録音時菊千代です。
That's a
Yoroshiku.
mouthful to say, I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
いい
Kikuchio.
人よ。
善人です。
Virtuous indeed. What a weird guy. He acts like he is a weird guy. Like we aren't also a weird guy that just so happened to end up in such a weird situation at this weird school. I didn't especially care about the textbook. I may as well, if he was willing to share. Sylvie faced forward and I pushed my desk up against my neighbors. Rokonji-kun.
菊千代で結構ですよ。クラスメイトなのですから。その代わり僕も
Okay, fine.
オーロ君と呼ばせていただきます。
Kikuchio. Kikuchio. I'll call you Oro-kun. Sure, Kikyo-chu. Every time I try to say it, like, without thinking about it, it doesn't come naturally. Kikuchio. 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 I'll get
お
it,
気になさら
guys.
ず
I'll get
現
it.
代の貴族たる僕と庶民のオーロ君でも同い年なのです。変わらぬ態度で接していただければ嬉しいです。
Okay, so he's a noble. He's better than us, but he wants to be treated like everyone else. Another rich boy, huh? Still, I got the sense that this wasn't part of the circle of people laughing and making fun of me earlier. I think I've heard the name Rokuonji
おや
before.
ご存知ですか？日本最大の企業三菱コーポレーションを滑る録音事件。政界財界では知らぬもののないとはいえ、
The
庶民の間にまで
Mitsubishi.
名
Is
前
that
が知れ
supposed
て
to
い
be
るのは驚きです。
Mitsubishi? Sounds kind of familiar. I might know about Mitsubishi. I know they make quite a few things, even outside of cars, right? Because like the one that does heavy industries and planes
はい。
and pencils.
あ、そこは違います。
Oh, awesome. You must be super rich. As a Japanese person, I found domestic wealth to be much more impressive than some foreign princess.
そうですね。我が一族の偉大さを思えば、金持ちなどというチープな表現はいささか無粋ですが、庶民の感覚ではそれでいいと思います。そして、現代の貴族である僕のような人種は、オーロ君のような庶民にも幸福を分け与えるのが義務。ノブレス・オブリージュの精神を忘れてはならない。
Noblesse oblige. I love that. All I think of when I hear noblesse oblige is Eden of the East. Nobility obliges. I love that.
困ったことがあれば、何でもおっしゃってください。
I hate to say though, in reality, most rich people probably don't feel that way. They probably don't. Sure. Some of the things he said ticked me off, but at the very least, he wasn't staring at me like the others. He knows he's in a class above you. But it seems like he's willing to talk to you. He's willing to be friends, which is fine. It's fine. Who is messaging me? Fine, then I take a look at his textbook and put my full effort into this class. It's gonna be kind of hard when there's just so many big-breasted blonde girls in here, and big-breasted dark-haired girls too. Ooh, managed to make it until lunch break. I was beat.
これで半日終了ですね。いかがでしたか、オール君。
So I
初め
wonder
ての
if
ノーブル学園の授業は
is the morning gonna be like kind of the normal core classes that we're used to, and then like the second half of the day is gonna be more kind of like a study on your own type thing, or is it going to be kind of spread throughout? Because it seemed like there was a little bit of time that she had in the morning when she was showing us like the concert hall and things like that. That was kind of like some free time, but I don't know if that was necessarily part of like the learn at your own pace type thing. I think more or less what I'm
我が
curious
校
how
は
it's
偏差値
divided.
70を少し超えるところですから、慣れないうちは戸惑うやもしれませんね。
I think that's why I couldn't keep up. To be perfectly blunt, my old school had terrible test scores. I couldn't retain anything the teacher
そう
said.
ですか。それが僕の教科書をたった3時間で落書きだらけにした理由で。
We were doodling on his textbook? I mean, that's... Oh, that's kind of
困
rude.
りますよ、オーロ君。いくら庶民とはいえ、そちらも礼儀をですね。
But I couldn't stop mid-doodle. Weren't you watching me and giggling anyways?
それは。
Oh, here I thought like, oh, he's like, we were just disrespecting his notebook, and here he was laughing at it, finding it entertaining. Come on, Kikuchiyo. Look at this doodle of Ishikawa Takuboko's face.
いいかん、僕としたことが偉人の顔を笑うなどと貴族の風上にも。
I'm starting to understand now. So he's nobility, but like he's just your average teenager. Hello, I'm the new Ishikawa Takuboko.
すっかり菊千代くんと仲良くなったわね。
I'm corrupting him. Don't worry about
いえ
it.
消しゴム消しゴム。ああ、キュリー夫人が裸に。
Oh my gosh.
あー、キュリー夫人って横向いてるから胴体書き足す系の落書きは腕の見せ所だよね。
Drawing Ishikawa Takuboku's smooth face is a piece of cake, but this takes real talent. Pretty good, huh?
うまいうまい。
うまいとか、それよりなぜ裸なんです？
Yeah, why are you making like? Because she's the one that like was doing all the nuclear stuff, right? We're talking about like was it Marie Curie? Because her clothes were a pain.
おっぱいがおばあ
Brother is this afraid of boobs. I hate to tell you, look at any of the women in this class. They are all unnaturally gifted. More than just their brains. Off he went. What a weird guy, says us.
予想はしていたけど、オールは友達を作るのが得意ね。私が間に入るより先に仲良しさんが増えちゃうなんて。
It helps that he doesn't complain about anything I do. I mean, to be fair, he was complaining about you drawing in his notebook.
市松め。
我が子を切ってのノーブル、六音寺くんにまで慣れ慣れしくしていたわよ。
The most noble man in our school? That guy? Other than Kikuchio, my classmate's mood was less than stellar. And with half a day elapsed, two distinct sets of eyes were directed on me whenever we had a break and I spoke with Sylvie. The first set of eyes, which belonged to Reina and oh my gosh, I'm still having trouble. Kikuchio. It just doesn't roll off the tongue. Kikuchio were favorable. They weren't entirely sold on me yet, and I couldn't be all that bad if Sylvie liked me. Second set of eyes were harsh. My classmates saw me as nothing more than an annoying commoner trying to butter up Princess Sylvia. What a pain in the butt. Well, this is only my first date. Maybe I could turn things around.
それよりシルビー、今日はどうする？わかってる？今日こそメロンパン日和だわ。
We're going back to town for the melon bread. Let's go.
なんだよ、また行きたい。参りましょう。
なりません。
ああ。
昨日あれほど申し上げたではありませんか。学則はこの学校に通う限り絶対のもの。破ることは王室の品格にも関わってくると。
それはでもメロンパンが。
Go get the black suits to get it.
エルチンおこだね。おここだね。
But like I said before, I think it'd be more fun if they went to get it. But hopefully we
しゃあ
don't
ないシルビー。今日
kidnap
は
her
諦
again.
めなよ。私一人で行ってくるから。今日はビッグナックかな。
A big knack. Oh, yes, I love big knacks. And I don't know. I couldn't think of something witty. Don't pull my hair.
妃殿にまで王室の品格を求めるつもりはない。だが学則の違反は進められま。
ビッグナックの気分なのに。
なりません。ほら、参りますよ。食堂の席は確保してあります。
I can't even eat McDonald's, and them talking about McDonald's is making me really hungry for McDonald's. I grew up eating it all the time. Now I can't have it anymore. So it sounds so good right now. Maybe I'm just really hungry. I did eat, but it's been quite a few hours now. It's definitely like I'm at that point where it's like almost dinner time, but it's still lunchtime, you know.
オール、お昼ご飯はどうするかしら。
And my freaking stomach starts growling as I'm talking about food. What are we doing for lunch? I brought my own so I can eat whenever.
さあ、気が向いたら食堂に来て、一緒に食べましょう。
Sure. Ooh, we get to eat lunch with them. Sounds nice. Off they went. Now then, everyone I considered a friend had left. Oh wait, we aren't going to eat lunch with them. That was them inviting. Oh. What do you want, Ayaka? No, for some reason there seemed to be more girls nearby. They appeared to be gathering around Jogasaki, who sat near me, and were exerting some strong waves in my direction. Oh, we're getting invited over by the girls. Okay.
なんだか今日は食欲がそがれるわね。薄汚い匂いがどこからか漂ってくる。
Oh, she doesn't like the way we smell.
そうよね。ですわね。マストで気になるわ。
So she sprayed that on us because she didn't like us. Okay.
あら、市松さん、いらしたんですか？
Oh, she's snobby. Okay, I was trying to figure that out if she was a little bit snobby or not.
お昼ご飯はどこで？私たち、今からここで食べるんです。にしても見てください、窓の外。今日はとてもいい天気。
What? What kind of like conversation change was that?
どこで食べても美味しいでしょうね。
The harsh reality of my new school had sunk in within half a day of transfer. That was her way of telling us that we could go eat anywhere else but here. Crazy. I thought she was going to be a little bit nicer to us, but it makes sense that she's not. That's okay. I'm going to enjoy when we go through her route. I'm going to enjoy the fact that she was so mean to us at first, and then we broke through to her. I love that. I love a little bit of a challenge. Everything was all well and good as long as I scribbled the day away, but the real danger was apparently during breaks. Where the heck was I supposed to go? Oh, after walking around the school for over half an hour, I finally found a nice looking spot. Yes, the roof. We have to go to the roof. And no one was around. The sign on the door did say the roof was off limits, but... Whoa, nice and relaxing. It was great to be alone. I was sick of everyone eyeballing me, so I better take a quick rest. What a hassle. There was nowhere for me to go. To be honest, I relied on Sylvie the second I was driven out of the classroom and headed for the dining hall. Even so, I didn't fit in there either. Sylvie and the others had taken the best seats in the back of the dining hall. They're surrounded by plenty of fancy-looking men and women. A commoner like me wouldn't be welcomed. I obviously wasn't shameless enough to waltz all the way back to the room in that social climate. Being new to the school left me in a bind with nowhere to go. Thank goodness the roof was open. So then, I still had half a day to go. Noble Private Academy. It certainly did seem to defy all expectations. Actually, I'd done my research online to brace myself with this yesterday. This academy had connection to various fields which enabled it to conduct its expert planning. Not only could one receive an exceptional education by attending this school, but they could establish business relationships in their field of choice. And that, to me, I think is the most important thing about elite schools like that, is you get those connections. They know people, right? So we have like the kids of people that have founded these really big and grand companies. That's where the money is. That's where the connection is. You can get yourself in the door in places that you otherwise wouldn't. Either you can go and maybe work for those companies and get a nice job that you wouldn't have the opportunity to otherwise, or perhaps you could have help starting your own business, having people that could invest into it and things like that. And it seems like this is just a school about gaining obviously an education so that they can run higher society and run, you know, these really grand companies. But it seems like it's also, they were talking about bringing in like these really important instructors. It seems like you could be trained in some of these higher education things. So what was he was saying Mitsubishi instead of Mitsubishi did like planes and stuff. So I wonder if like there's some instructor that could help you like learning to design them and things like that. The richest, most distinguished and influential people were lured here, making Noble Private Academy into one of the most elite schools in the country. It was a sort of academy that all the nation's elites were eager to attend. It only made someone without any such rank like myself appear all the more inferior. All men are created equal in the eyes of heaven, but even if heaven did not make anyone superior or inferior, society would. Just the way the world worked. In a certain sense, I could experience realistic human society firsthand while still a student. It may actually have been a well-designed educational facility. It's pretty insufferable being put on the inferior side, though. Luckily, the weather was as fantastic as Jogasaki said. My meal was tasty, too. Yeesh. This sucked. Practically scarfed down my lunch. Better hang out on the roof until the last second. Going back to class now would make it would like being thrown to the wolves. Knowing the fact that I've been branded a commoner understandably hurt to be told I stunk. I would just kill some time. And then I suddenly realized it stunk. What the hell? This rooftop reeked. Did it smell because of the gigantic water tank? No, it couldn't be. This wasn't the smell of humidity or rust, but something much more familiar and almost suffocating. Cigarettes. Who's smoking up here? I looked around me. There was no one else or anyone who was smoking for that matter. Maybe it was coming from below. Smoking. Well, it clearly had to be a teacher. Smoking is prohibited at almost all schools nowadays, though. Considering what a haven for the high-minded Noble Academy was, I assumed they'd be apt to burn you at the stake for smoking in particular. Oh well, guess it doesn't matter. Who was smoking on the roof? Boom, back to the classroom in the nick of time. Luckily, all the girls had left the scene. There's even someone here I could talk to.
なんとか全部消せました。
You erased the
当
drawings.
然です。まったく人の教科書だと思っているのか。
Wish you'd left the new Ishikawa Takuboku, though. It's the first piece I've been proud of in ages.
やめてください。偉人を冒涜するような真似は旧石川啄木であるべきです。
It's not like the forum became his new identity or something. You haven't erased Madame Curie, though.
これはその制作者である君の気持ちも考えて残しておいてもいい。決してそのおっぱいとかが理由ではないですよ。
If you say so.
本当ですよ。
ただい
Anyways, get out of here. We got some cute blonde girls to attend to.
まお腹いっぱいばい。
Stuffy stuffed. I've never heard
シ
that.
ルビー様、歯を磨く時間を作るようにとあれほど。
All three of them
た
came
だいま
back.
オーラ。ねえオーラ、午後からはどうする？
Oh, what are we doing this afternoon? I have no idea what the schedule
こ
is.
の学園、午後からの授業はエキスパートプランって言って全部自由選択だよ。
So it seems like the morning is for the core classes, like I mentioned. It seems like they had a little bit of free time in between those core classes, like 30 minutes or so. And then expert planning is just our free time in the afternoon. Half the day was expert planning. This was mentioned in my transfer student guidance, wasn't it? If we're free to choose, that means skipping's an option.
強制はされていないが安心しませんね。
Looks like I had no choice, but I wasn't really into anything particular at the moment. What sorts of choices are there specifically? For example, what do you all do?
私はピアノの時間に当てているの。でも一人じゃつまらないから音楽総合でみんなに混ざってやっているわ。被服業種科目総合選択。なんだっけ？
私は体育総合に。
エル、今日は部活動の子たちがこの時間も来てほしいと言っていたわよ。
ですが。
ダメ。エルはフェンシング部の期待のエースなんだから。
自分は部に属したわけではありません。
いいから王女様の命令よ。
わかりました。あちらに参加します。
Okay, well, I guess she had that decided for her. Music, fashion, and fencing. Maybe I should do one of the same. Oh shit, I have a choice already? Oh, you're kidding. Oh no, I don't know what the route order is supposed to be. Does it matter? Hold on. I don't... Route order for Kinkoi. I have no idea. I don't want to get spoiled though. I'm afraid to like click links. Can I just do whatever I want? Does it matter? I don't know. So there's Sylvie. We could just go down Sylvie. I feel like Sylvie's meant to be like a true end type thing. But I would love to go down Reina or Els. I'm gonna go with Reina because I actually am genuinely interested in Reina, and I'm interested in Elle as well. But I don't know how much this choice matters. So we're gonna go with Reina, and if I absolutely like am a fool and made a wrong choice, like I'm supposed to do like something else, I'm sure you guys will let me know. Like clothing and fashion stuff.
そのまんまファッション研究。
I didn't get it. Then again, it being so over my head did pique my interest. Between the three of them, Elson scared me to no end, and she'd be even more terrifying if I picked Sylvie. The process of elimination, I was left with one choice. Shall we then?
Let's just see.
The study of fashion. In reality, I was clueless about anything relating to fashion. To be honest, anyone who spent tens of thousands of yen on trendy clothes, accessories, shoes, or the like was foolish. I agree. There's like certain brands that I would consider like not really fancy, but like brands that are, I guess, a little bit higher on the spectrum that I like, that I'm willing to pay a little bit more money for than I would otherwise. But that's just because I've actually like used them and I do find the quality to be nicer. Like probably the most expensive piece of clothing I have is definitely my shoes. And to be fair, I didn't even pay for those myself. I actually had a family member who was willing to buy those for me. But those are definitely the most expensive piece of clothing I have, which is like in the $100 range. And to be fair, they are great shoes that I absolutely think are worth the money. But even then, it's not like they're like super fashionable. They're like just really comfortable and give you good support. That's what makes them nice to me. So like I've kind of learned as I've gotten older, like there's some things worth spending a little bit more money on, but otherwise like fashion, I'm like, I don't know. I don't think spending $100 on a t-shirt is like a smart idea, you know? In any event, it would be laid back no matter what it entailed, considering Reina would be there. It seemed like their activities would be simple too. I don't know. I feel like they're
19 世
probably
紀の
designing
服
clothes.
飾文化の変遷を見るに、現代ファッションは15年間隔の半期に入っており、つまり50年代の美術中期の反転に合わせて
Yeah, because there's that whole thing about like fashion. What's fashionable, you know, in the past is going to become fashionable in the future. Like there's only like so many different things I feel like you can do with fashion. So like there's definitely certain things that'll come back into style. So I feel like it's important to know kind of the past so you can predict the future and kind of stay with trends. So I totally get like this, like he's thinking this is gonna be really simple, like, oh, it just looks nice, whatever, right? But there's definitely trends, and I've noticed like people, like you notice that especially with like water bottles. So like, I'll use mine as an example. This is an Awala. This is very much like a trendy water bottle. So you have like Awala's, Stanley's, you know, things like that. And there's probably even some other brands out there, but these are like trendy water bottles. I think this one's just really nice, but could I get something cheaper that probably does the same job? Sure. It wasn't that expensive to begin with. Of course I got it on sale. But like I've learned through my wife, especially, she likes trendy things and things like that. It's important to know probably in their market like the past, so they can predict what's going to be trendy in the future, because like people are always chasing trends. I've noticed there's a big portion of the population in the world that like likes to do that, even though I could really care less. I just want something that actually works. Like if it works good and it looks good, like great. And then price obviously is a big consideration for me. Like I don't want to pay something. I don't want to pay a lot for something that I could get cheaper that does the same job. Anyways, range aside.
その意見はわかりますが、現代はインターネットをはじめ高度情報化社会です。20世紀までの文化周期を当てはめるのは少数では？そうした意見に対するデータもまとめてありますので、資料7をお願いします。皆さん、資料7に移ります。
Isn't quite what I expected. I pictured something more casual for them to chat about modern fashion trends. Something like this, whoosh whoosh.
なんか新しく言ったネイルのとこ、もう超イケてなくて最悪。
So this is what he's expecting.
最悪、超ベリバー。でもあの店イケメン多いよね。それな。
Something like that. I'd imagine an incredibly foolish sounding get together, and yet
資料7で提示した通り、文化周期の変遷は21世紀現在も過度の変容は見られないものであり。よくわかりました。美術文化的見地からのファッション類推のまとめ。ありがとう。はい。意見の反証ありがとうございました。
So it's less of a discussion and more of a summit at this point. They all sounded super intelligent. Oh yeah, Reina had successfully enrolled into Noble Academy, which scored two standard deviations above the mean.
疲れた。
They finished talking and Reina walked towards
もう
me.
大変よ。みんなの前で喋るって超緊張。 ほんとつららつらたん。お疲れた。
Mad props. She ordinarily did act this silly too. That certainly sounded like
なん
it.
で敬語？
I knew it was Reina when she spoke in her usual slangy speech pattern. Was her earlier demeanor just an illusion?
ファッションって聞いてきたのに歴史の話してるからビビりっしょ。
A little. They were giving me a history lesson. My brain couldn't keep up halfway through, so I had to retain a word
フ
of
ァッ
it.
ションってなんだかんだ繰り返すものだから。勉強するにはどうしても習得の歴史がいるんだよね。
Yep, that's what I said earlier. They tend to repeat. See, that's wonderful. Who could have thought it'd be a great get-together with such smart people? Come to think of it, the other girls did sound just as bright and cheerful as Reina.
あー疲れーな。うーい。今日のよかったよ、レイナ。イエーでしょ。ウェイ。シェー。
Or maybe not. No, these girls had also scored 2 standard deviations above the rest.
な
But
んか新しく言ったネイルのとこちょいバビってて目はもう。
oh, we're back to the nails.
レイナ雑魚ビルこと多いよね。チャゲなあっこイケメン多くね。それな。
Oh gosh. The whole that complicated stuff, they more or less transitioned to talking about exactly what I had envisioned. They had normal discussions after you peeled away the varnish. Noble Academy wasn't to be taken lightly. Headed back to the classroom. Are we allowed to go home now?
はい。転校初日。これで完了です。お疲れ様でした。
Ah, so tired. I was exhausted from the bottom of my heart. It's been forever since I'd gone to school. Well, part of it anyways. Noble Academy was, how should I put this? Intense. Our studies, people's gazes, and the educational policies. I was worn out from how dense everything was. You could also call it enriching, but still.
すっかり録音時君に取り入ったな、あいつ。
生意気よね。庶民のくせに。
This particular aspect had undoubtedly warned me now.
大変でしたね、市松さん。
Ah, hello there.
ノーベル学園は超一流を輩出するための学園というか英才教育機関。慣れないうちは大変な思いをすると思います。別のところに移るなら全力で応援しますよ。いつでも私を頼ってください。
Okay, just random challenge. Like, yeah, if you want to go somewhere else, I'll help you out. Thanks for the offer, bitch. Just kidding, just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's okay though. I'm willing to give Ayaka a try. I know she's gonna be a little bit cold with us at first, but I know she's gonna warm up. I know she's playing hard to get. See, these other girls are just coming and throwing themselves at us, which is cool and all. Like they're nice, they're pretty, you know. But I like a girl that's a little bit of a challenge, like a nut to crack, you know. Hey. Classmates' scornful eyes suddenly grew envious the moment Sylvie showed up. Those glares felt fantastic, definitely a relaxing effect.
ねえほら、私この後メロンパンを買いに行くの。一緒に行かない？
Melon bread, huh? Something sweet does sound good. Sorry, I really need to finish moving into my new place, getting unpacked.
そうなの。残念。
I'd actually like to ask you a favor. Would you help me unpack?
それも面白そうかも。
シルビア走るの？我らがソルティレージュ第9王女シルビア様に対しユニークな提案です。
Okay. We don't need the whole spiel of her name, okay? That's not it. Go enjoy your melon bread, Sylvie.
Huh?
Okay, I need large items for luggage. That'll probably be fine. Alright, my luggage aside, I still haven't heard where I'll be staying.
エキスナが説明したはずでが。
She explained it, but I'm not exactly sure where it's at. Some of my stuff has already been delivered too. I assume I'm moving into the academy-owned dorms, right? Where are they? Russell. Huh? The whole classroom seemed to stir. Even Kikuchio was acting
手
weird.
続きをしたのは私たちだが、何か問題が？
カバレロ様が。
いえ、問題というわけではないのですが。
Look like you're struggling to elaborate further.
あやか。早く帰るわよ。
Why? What happened? What the heck is going on? Is he gonna be my roomie?
寮に案内したいが、今日はフェンシング部に顔を出す約束をしていて。
僕が案内しますので、ご心配なく。
かたじけ
Oh,
ない。
what a nice guy. On that note, I headed outside with Kikuchio. Kikuchio.
そこのところでもう横にそれませ。見落とすと分かりにくいですね。
See. Although our destination was nearby, we took a path that was easy to get lost on. Having Kikuchio around to act as my guide was a huge help. Wait, is this outside of the school? Is something unusual about the dorm? Asked him point blank. It's probably difficult to talk about in front of Elson, who was the one who referred me, but...
はい。決して問題があるわけではないのですが、本来、ノーブル学園は全寮制。生徒は全員、寮に入ることが予定されていました。
Oh, it's not now. The school advertised it as such before it officially opened its
全
doors.
校生300人分の寮は予定されたのですが、設計された建物は1部屋3人で入るものでした。これが生徒たちから不評を買ったのです。たった12畳の部屋に3人は住めないと。
I guess that'd be tiny for some, but was it really that big of a deal? The way I saw it, a room like that would be massive for a single person. Then again, the rich may feel different. If it were 214 square feet, then that would mean each person would be given about 71 square feet of space. That would feel kind of
学
cramped.
園側はその要望を組み、1人1部屋。結果、寮の収容人数は100人まで減ることになりました。
What about the other 200?
丘を下ったところにあるアパートを学園が買い取って当てているそうです。まあそこを使っているのは30人くらい。他はマンションを買うか、3年間駅前のホテルを借りるかする方が多いです
Rented
よ。
a room at a hotel for 3 years? Do you know how expensive that would be? Where are you staying?
うちの152番目の別荘がすぐそばにありまして。
152nd villa? The hoity-toity sounding conversation continued, but I could accept anything after befriending a princess not 24 hours prior. Yet this has all happened in a singular day's worth of time. Surprised I managed to get a room at the dorms then.
ゲスト用として常に5部屋は空けているようですよ。もし諸外国のセレブが転入を望んだ時、迅速に受け入れられるように。
Okay, pretty calculating of them. That means getting a room here is even more difficult. Wouldn't it be an issue for a commoner like me to move in?
そう思ってらっしゃる方も多いやもしれません。やはり寮は便利なので、望んで入れない方は毎年多いです。
I only got in due to extenuating circumstances, so I guess everyone was expressing their dissatisfaction with the system by directing it at me. We kidnapped somebody, and then now we're in this elite school. Well, maybe that was inevitable.
それより問題なのは、
Really?
はい。こちらが本題です。さっきも述べた通り、寮から溢れた方は丘の下に住むしかない。つまり、毎朝この坂道を登らなければならない。
Oh, it's not really steep, but it is long. Academy was fairly deep in the foothills, so it was a ways off. I hadn't really noticed it yesterday, but the thought had occurred to me earlier this morning. Anyone who lives in the dorms has a much shorter commute. Is that why they're jealous?
ええ、やっかみもそうです。だがそれ以上に体力の話です。自然と寮に住める人間を選ぶときは、レディーファーストが適用されるのです。
本当に来たわ。
That's fair.
あの庶民。ここって女子寮じゃありませんの？
Oh, wait, we're in a dormitory for a bunch of women?
名目上は男女共用。もともと男女全員が入れる仕様ではあるんだよ。今はマストで女子オンリーなだけで。
I feel like this is like Infinite Stratos all over again. Although it's exclusively used by women these days, huh? Seriously? Oh my gosh, this is so nice. This feels like a hotel. Inside was a garden of women. Like, I'm pretty sure I've been in like a hotel that looks exactly like this when I was visiting Hawaii. Inside was a garden of women. It was high time for people to get home from school. Droves of students were heading inside, but they were all women.
明文化されたことではないので、カバレロさんたちには伝わっていなかったようですね。
Perceiving pretenses and reading the room is a large part of Japanese culture, after all.
逆に読めないこともまたシルビアさんやカバレロさんの魅力かもしれませんね。
Maybe a part of their charm.
では僕はこれで。
Oh, you're just leaving. Okay, thanks, guy. Don't leave me. I called Kikuchio. I still can't say his freaking name. Kikuchio.
話してください。この空気耐えられません。
Oh my gosh, you're afraid about around a bunch of women, huh? No shit, of course it would be if all these women eyeballing us. Shut up, don't run away. My lord, a commoner's in trouble, my lord.
そう言われては。
Oh, okay. This is the way to get him to do things. We just have to frame it in the right way. Like, oh my lord, don't leave me in my hour of need. Thank goodness he's easy to handle. While I had my hands full with him, everyone began to glare at us with a fierce intensity.
何君この寮に何か用？ここ女の子しかいないんで入り口で立ってると変な目で
It
見られますよ
was
先
an
輩。
all-female dorm till today. I headed to the corner. What a pain. It is unofficially a woman's dorm. Even with two men standing outside, no one assumed I lived here. The dorm itself was what you'd expect from a rich school and was more than adequate for students to live in. It looked more like a hotel than a dorm, especially with how pristine and well decorated it was. The second you walked through the front door, there was a terrace where students could relax. Was that a convenience store inside? It even had a Starbucks-looking coffee stand next door. I'd heard of rich schools having convenience stores on campus before, but I assumed it was rare for them to be inside the dorms themselves. Oh, there's even restrooms inside the shop. The placards on the bathroom door depicted a little man in blue on one and a red woman on the other. The right door led to the men's bathroom, which meant this was not a woman's dormitory.
いやー最近ちょっと硬くてさ。お野菜もちゃんと食べなきゃダメですよ先輩。
These young women walked in it like it was only natural, though, which meant that the men's bathroom was fair game. It's painfully clear to me how unwelcome men were here. Judging by their stares, something peculiar had entered the mix. The boys sneaking around at the women's dorm made sense. Was I seriously going to live here? Could I possibly get the 100 people who lived here to accept me?
市松さん、ようこそ。
My favorite girl. How are you, Ayaka? Jogasaki-san, how are we doing? Hi, a familiar face has come to greet me.
本日からここにお住まいだそうで、クラスだけでなく寮生としても同窓ですね。よろしくお願いします。
Yeah.
見ての通り、今や女子寮と化している場所ですので、よっぽどずうずうしくても男子の身では入りにくいかと思いましたが、歓迎しますね。別のお住まいを探すならいくらでも協力しますので、いつでもおっしゃってください。
Thank you, Jogasaki-san. You are so helpful. She's just always willing to help us if we need anything. If we need to get out of the school, great. If we need to leave the dorm, great. She's there. What a great friend.
おっと、その前に新しい学校を探す方が先ですか。
Ha ha ha. Despite her snidely aggressive tendencies compared to the bizarre glares for everyone else, I was grateful to have her here just because she knew my situation.
そうそう。今さっきですけど、今現在寮に住んでる女子全員に市松さんがここに住む旨と事情をメールしました。あの彼ここに住む？ここ女子寮なんじゃないんですか先輩。
It was a woman's dormitory.
本人の強い希望によりゲストルームへドン引き。
His own fierce desires. What does that mean?
転校生さん、初めての男性ですよね。近づいちゃダメ。まだ虚勢もしてないのよ。転校初日からあのシルビア王女にちょっかいかけたという命知らずなオスなのよ。はあ、私たちも危ないんじゃ。
What did her email say? Show me.
レディの指針を覗くなんて褒められませんよ。
Sneak, sneak. Noble.
すいません。
My lord, don't abandon me.
しかしもう無理です庶民様。貴族を家に帰らせてください。
あらあら、入居した庶民はあの六音寺の御曹司を相手に怒鳴り散らすほど凶暴な危険人物。
Is that her whole thing? She's just like an HOA person that just like looking over, just tweeting out all the news like, hey guys, the new guy is bold enough to yell at Rokuonji. Damn it. That's enough. How about you tell me where my room is?
こちらへどうぞ。
I headed towards the terrace while bearing the full brunt of their stares. The new guy was bold enough to make me take him to his room. There's clusters of room. It's on the other side of the terrace, but the room she got me to was closest to us on the first floor. The room was at least 214 square feet. It was huge. Not only had my luggage been delivered, but several pieces of furniture were already assembled and ready for me. There we go. Oh my gosh, this is nice. What the heck? This is like a nice, you know, one-bedroom apartment.
こんなところでしょうか。
Well, it's not even a one-bedroom apartment. It's just a studio. This please you? Yeah, I'd say so. Open 2 cardboard boxes and rearrange the provided
こちら
furniture.
の段ボールは
Just some recreational hobby related stuff, so be careful.
そうですか。では手伝いもここまでということで。
Yeah, thanks, Kikuchio. I feel like I kind of turned you into an errand boy.
いえいえ、困っている庶民を助けるのは貴族の務めですから。
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that, buddy.
もっと言えば今外に出られませんから。
Ah, that's true. Since this room is close to the terrace, we could hear all the faint ramblings from the other side of the walls. There's a decent number of girls chatting among themselves about my new room. It wasn't so much about my room specifically, but more so the fact that a savage commoner screamed and forced his way inside of a woman's dorm. I already had my hands full with my crappy classmates. I didn't expect things to be so suffocating here, too.
もうしばらくお邪魔させてください。ほとぼりが冷めた頃、こそっと帰ります。
Yeah, I'm sorry about this. Felt guilty for causing him so much trouble, especially when we had only just met.
うん。
With that, Kikuchio looked around the room.
やはりこれといった品はなし。どれも既製品ばかり。オーロ君はやはり皆さんのおっしゃる通り、特徴のある家柄ではないのですね。
Wait, did he say it's handmade? Handmade is expensive. What do you mean? Can't be blunt and just say I'm poor.
そうです
Or you
ね。
can be.
貧乏です。
I'm starting to get a better read on you the more time we spend together. He wasn't a bad guy, but he was severely lacking in the common sense department. Probably like the rich guy from earlier manga chapters of Koshikame.
こう言うと失礼ですが、クルス・クラウンさんとはどこでお知り合いになったので？昨今はインターネットは
About
じめ
that.
出会いの場は多いですが、にしても気になってしまいます。
Well, we kind of ran into each other in the street, started talking, became fast friends. I hadn't lied.
そうですか。縁は稲もの味なものですね。
More or less. I had no interest in joking around with Kikuchio about this topic any further. Alright, I wasn't sure, so I should probably ask. Is Sortilege really some sort of like gigantic country? I heard the name a lot, but knew nothing about the country itself. The only info I could find online suggested it was pro-Japanese country, which gave me a little to go off of.
小さな大国ですよ。そして今後、小さな超大国になるやもしれない。21世紀の産業を考えれば、日本にとっての存在感は相当なものです。
How so?
立ち位置や地政学などですでにある程度価値の動きにくい米国中国に比べればずっと気を使う相手かと。
I didn't know much about inter-country affairs, but I thought that it was probably astounding.
ソルティレージは現在人工知能プログラム、仮想通貨のブロックチェーンプロトコルなどソフト技術で世界を席巻しており、
AI? Cryptocurrency?
日本は飛行機、リニア、水素発電とハード技術で世界からの需要で溢れています。
Okay, that sounds very believable.
さらにソルティレージには複数の特許的優位な軍需産業も。
I wasn't aware that Japan had a really big aviation industry, though. I don't know if that's true. Sortilege has several superior patent-protected munitions industries. Like the toy, they turn into a high-powered laser weapon.
これら軍需企業が日本の技術をいくつか欲しており、同時に軍隊および軍需産業を持てない日本にとって提携するのに非常に旨味のある相手でもある。
I mean, I thought Japan has like the ISDF or something?
お互いのアピールポイントの都合、そして何より共に皇室王室と歴史の境を大事にする国民性から両国は極めて良好な状態を築いています。何でもソルティレージ王室の第一王女は結婚相手に日本人を推薦したとか。
It's incredible. All the technical stuff aside, Sortilege seems to have had a good relationship with Japan at the state level. What would happen if things turned volatile between the two?
一生恨まれるでしょうね。ソルティレージにも日本の全国民にも。
Oh, I was in a more astounding situation than I originally thought. I think I was saying that label me as a kidnapper yesterday, otherwise they would have probably killed me.
なぜそんなことを聞くので？
Hypothetically speaking, with as good of friends as we are, what do you suppose would happen if Sylvie and I were to get into a fight or something?
やめてください。日本国民として生きた心地がしません。
Good to know. Would it really be that bad? That's when I realized that there was no way out of the situation anymore.
話していたら喉が渇きましたね。
Yeah, I worked up quite a sweat after moving all those boxes around. I'll grab us some drinks. Are you okay with Ramune? Pulled out 2 Ramune bottles I'd brought with me. They were room temperature and be perfect given how cold it was today.
何ですこれ？ジュースか あ蓋の部
Yeah,
分
you
が
gotta
全
like
然
push
取れ
the
ない
little ball down.
硬すぎます
The same thing as a kid. He didn't seem to know about Rumene at all. And then,
陣中の時間だ
what? Where did you come from? Human punishment. Why do you look like that? Are those your pajamas?
クズ流線
Nine-headed dragon flash. What are you yapping about? What in the autism is this? He's bombarded with 9 instantaneous strikes. What's your problem?
陣中見舞いよ
Oh, of course I would be into the autistic girl. This is just so telling about me as a person. I helped myself to the soda and chips she brought with her in exchange for playing along and letting her use me as a punching
う
bag.
んうん片付け終わって手伝わなくて良さそうな時間を狙ってきたけどちょうどっぽい
Yeah, perfect timing. Kiki Uchiyo was a huge help.
おやキサキさん
He's still trying to open that bottle. I was like, why is he making this sound? I thought he was just maybe really excited about seeing her in that outfit. And I was like, oh, he's trying to get that stupid Ramune bottle open.
スキクちゃんラムネの蓋取ろうとしてるのそんなにビー玉好きだっけ
He wants the marble.
ダーン
And didn't hesitate to jump onto my bed. Hey, this is my room and I haven't even got a chance to use it yet.
いいじゃんこれくらいぽよーんぽよーんぽいーん
Oh, now she's breaking in the bed springs. She had stolen 2 of the biggest thrills you could get when moving.
まあまあああらキクちゃんこの部屋のトイレもう使った
Oh my gosh, now you're gonna go blow up my toilet.
初トイレいただき
What? Hey, you, hold it. The door to the bathroom was all too cruelly closed.
実はちょっと溜まってたんだよね
I was actually a little constipated. She's like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go into Oro's room and I'm just gonna take a giant shit because I've been constipated all day. Hey, wait, it's my room and you're planning to use my bathroom's virginity too.
いいじゃんさすがにボンジョルノもしないから
Buongiorno, just a CC chat. What are you yapping about? Fine. That would be the biggest thrill of a new bathroom intact, huh? I'll allow it, but no big ones. We're right out here, so we'll be able to hear it if you
オ
do.
ーロ君女性のそういうことに聞き耳を立てるのはいかがかと
You're right, I lost my cool. Sorry about that. Walk back over to Kiku Chiyo.
初ベッドとか初トイレとか不思議なこだわりがあるのですね
You don't?
全然
What a weirdo. I guess you get used to living in a brand new place if you got over 100 vacation homes.
確かに
It's a very common or like sentiment, huh? Breaking in a new bed or bathroom can be exciting in its own way. It wasn't like this sort of thing happened every day. Even breaking in a new bed at a hotel could be exciting if you let it. It was apparently a sensation lost in
ああさっ
nobles.
ぱりした
I'm glad you
タオル
enjoyed
借り
it.
たよ
You borrowed a towel. What did you didn't use it to wipe, did you? Wait, her hair was wet. She took a shower. What? How did we not hear that?
私もラムネ飲みたいもらうね
Reina raided the fridge without asking. She rounded up the edge of her towel, used to press in the marble, and opened up the bottle with ease. She was acting like she owned the place.
風呂上がりはこれだ
After a bat? We were just talking for like 2 seconds. Pissed me off a little, but... A cute girl fresh out of the shower was laxing on my bed. With that thought in mind, I guess I couldn't complain too much. There was a stark contrast between her and Kikuchiyo, as he was still struggling to open his bottle. Hey, now, are you poor?
急に何
That came out wrong. As Kikuchiyo would say, are you more of a noble or commoner like me?
あ
Reina skillfully caught the marble within the neck of the bottle and downed the beverage in a single
あ
chug.
親は年収300万うち150をパチスロに突っ込むロマンあふれる弓追い人にございます
3 million yen. Alright. 3 million yen to USD. How much is that? That's how much they make a year? That's not much. That's like $20,000. They're poor. Something up. I mean, I know Japan's a little bit cheaper, but 20,000 and they're spending half of it on the pachinko machines, so you're making like 10,000. My parents aren't much for slots and are a bit more reliable than that, but we definitely don't have a maid or butler.
なら私側だ。
Gosh, yeah, she's pretty poor. The little academy sure has high standard. What's your family like, Chio?
僕への面通しが叶う執事だけで80人ですね。その下にはもう10倍ほどいるはずですが。
Got it. Open the remote. Hey, noble. I probably shouldn't say this, but it's strange that you're friends with a certain princess.
友情はね、どこにでも芽生えるから友情なのさ。わい、どっかの名言言いそうな誰か。
Oh, it's my cat. I was like, what is she doing?
てか、オーロは人のこと言えねえかよ。
I have my reasons. My three options were to lose an arm, be locked up, or become her friend. I didn't think I'd actually become friends with Sylvie was a bad. I didn't think actually becoming friends with Sylvie was a bad thing, though. Unlike me, I'd heard that this girl had worked her way into Sylvie's inner circle the right way. She did seem to be well-spoken. I'd completely opened it up to her in a day's time,
オー
too.
ロも仲良くした方がいいよ。キクション以外にも友達作ってさ。
I don't know, apparently you're my friend. You're just chilling on my bed.
あ、そうそう。外のみんながえってえ先立ってたけど、何かしたの？
No, I didn't. This was all just a misunderstanding. No, not so much a
あやか
misunderstanding.
っちにはめられた？
She asked after taking out her cell phone. Looked like she received the same email Jogasaki had sent out earlier. If you know that much, then I'll make this quick. As a fellow commoner, I'd like to ask you for a
み
favor.
んなの誤解を解いてとかなら無理。
That was quick. She single-handedly destroyed all of my hopes. I'm begging you, they're treating me like some sort of criminal.
ああ、うんうん、言われてる。
She showed me her cell phone. It appeared she was chatting with her friends outside over, Leon? The hate speech seemed to be building up at an alarming rate on the other side of the door.
悪いやつじゃないくらいは言っとくよ、一応。
I'm counting on you. A little comforting to hear. As far as my impressions of my first day at this new school went, the richest school in Japan sure isn't kind to commoners.
だね。
Every last one of them was making fun of commoners. Kikuchiyo wasn't mocking us, but he definitely saw us as distinctly different creatures. It's probably a given in the world of nobles. That sort of behavior was the first things governors of certain Middle Eastern countries taught their heirs. Commoners aren't like us. They aren't humans, so there's no need to pity them. They are all disposable. It was irritating from a commoner's point of view, but it was essential sentiment for nobles. It'd be easy to raise a rich, magnanimous scion who might one day be come to care about commoners and bring their lineage to ruin. That was why nobles educated their children that way. Perhaps it was inevitable that the students of the Noble Academy who congregated here from across Japan looked down upon us commoners. I wasn't enough of a child to get angry over it, it was just irritating.
私も最初は苦労したっ
This has happened before. You're so chatty with everyone though, what happened?
け。普通に化粧の話とかで寄ってってそのまま。
Would it work out as long as you were as sociable as she was? I consider myself to be quite elegant, but I won't be easy to recover from being thought of as a criminal.
まあ厳しい子多いけどね、あやかっちとか。
She sure is. As of this moment, she was my biggest adversary. This was beyond being looked down on. She considered commoners to be a nuisance for being at this academy, as well as occupying the same space as her. She was determined to drive me out, but wasn't trying to hide how badly she wanted to leave. Was she traumatized by a commoner or
知ら
something?
ない。
Notice Rain's expression suddenly grows serious. What was all that about? No sooner did I think that than she flashed a sudden smirk.
よかった。メンタル大丈夫みたいだね。転入直後につらたんだったから。今頃真顔が止まらなくなってるかもって思ってきてみたんだけど。
Oh. Raina claimed she came by to cheer me up, so I guess she was worried about me. I'll be fine if that's all they throw at me. Sure, I was being bullied, but mercifully rich people had an elegant way of bullying you that didn't inflict any direct physical harm. It wasn't bad enough yet to be considered real hardship. Sorry, I had to reboot the game for a second because I don't know why the sound stopped working. So I just rebooted it real quick and it seems to be working fine. So I don't know what I did. I just advanced the ... one dialogue choice. Good. Why don't we have some fun then?
オーラくんのプライベート拝見。こ
No,
いつがプライベートボックス？
no, you can't go in there. She pulled out a sealed cardboard box. I guess she was done fussing over me. There are things inside that box I wouldn't want anyone to see, I guess.
だから漁るんじゃん。
Made sense.
ちゅうわけで、ウェイ
She opened it without hesitation. What was in that box again? I was in too much of a rush yesterday, so I didn't really have a chance to sort through my belongings.
ねえねえオーロ、面白いもんある？エロいもん希望。
Naughty stuff. Well, I suppose there is.
えげちいのあるかなって一発目でおエッチなお本をお発見したおいおい本当に出るかよあれ反応なし
No reaction? I don't know whether you're some closeted, porn-reading pervert or one of those sexy gal types, but both would be valid personalities for
羞
you.
恥心は
I'm not going to act ashamed in front of someone who shamelessly digs through another person's belongings without permission. Those porno mags were spur-of-the-moment purchases at a convenience store, but they're pretty shabby. I don't care for them much. I'd be pretty embarrassing if she saw what I was actually into, but porn you didn't care about was just flesh-colored
チ
paper.
ェ
I'm going to toss the magazine aside. Aren't you looking for something naughty?
恥ずかしがるオーロが見たいだけでおっぱいが見たいなら自分のがあるし
If I wanted to look at boobs, I'd just look at my own.
このラムネとやらなかなか蓋が取れないな。汗をかいてしまいました。休憩しますか。おや、この本は
Oh no, don't show him that. No, don't do it. The boob lover found it.
失礼な。誰がおっぱいが好きだと。おっぱいがそのうわー、おっぱいがいっぱいだ。
キクチョン体勢なさそうだもんね
Is this your first time looking at porno mags?
当たり前です。こんな不死だらな。こんな
He's like, wait, this is the holy grail.
うわー、おっぱ
You could have it, call it a gift for helping
こう
out.
いう感じの反応がオーロにも
Oh
あればね
gosh.
エロ本もう一冊発見
I did bring a few of them after all. Whoa, wait, not that
なん
one?
でそう違うといえばちょっと古いの
Ew. They just are kind of crunchy. That's because you can say it's the first one that tended to my needs.
とこのパリパリは
She's not a knower. She doesn't know. I wonder why it's gooey when it comes out but turns crunchy when it dries. It's like glue. Ew! You smelt it? That's crazy.
確
Why would you do that?
認のために聞くけどこれって
My partner graduated from
最
virginity.
悪かよ
How could you treat my first love so terribly? I rushed to affectionately retrieve the abandoned magazine.
ねえなもうなんか他にないのこう適度にオーロがきょどる程度の適度なエロさの
Why something so specific?
この段ボール全部エロかよ
I deemed all of it essential and packed a decent amount, but between the porno mags, DVDs, Blu-rays, and games... Right, well, these are all essentials, so there's no escaping half of it being porn.
探してはいたけど多すぎねえわったくん
What?
なんかこのエロ本エロゲエロビデオ
Oh, is it all
全体的に
princess
傾
stuff?
向が似てない養殖謹慎ハードエロあでもこっちは純愛甘エロおねしょたおじろりエロの種類が散らばってる
Oh, he just... I'm not really picky, so I never got fixated on one specific
で
fetish.
もなんか全体に共通点これ女の子が全部黒髪ロングだ
Ah! My man! No blondes to be found here. What do you mean? I haven't got a clue. Oh, but you're right. There's a lot of girls with long black hair. Wow. Coincidental bias sure is a scary thing.
オーロ黒髪ロングフェチかよ
It's not a fetish. It's certainly not extreme enough to be a fetish. It's a preference. Whatever reason, no matter the medium, the covers that caught my eyes always end up featuring women with long black hair.
ぶっこいても無駄無駄
Uh,
なんだよ照れて可愛いかよ
she finally got her hands on some good heckling material. My face, unsurprisingly, was beet red.
にしても黒髪ロングフェチあれってことはオーロ的には私みたいな髪は NG
Why are you acting so disappointed by this? I wouldn't say that, but it does make me wonder why you dye it.
チェブリーチって大変ん
What?
あなんか悟った 悟り開いた。
Rena shot me an awkward smirk. What's all that about?
ほら、学園でフルボッコされても平気だったのってうちの学園の女子が黒髪ロングばっかりだったからだ。
We love Ayaka, don't we, guys?
てか、ここが女子寮って分かった後、びくつきながらも逃げずに住もうとしてるのも、ここの子たちほぼ全員黒髪ロングだからだ。
Guilty as charged.
下げ入ってると思って損した。ノーブル生活満喫中じゃん。
This is crazy analysis, by the way. The fact that she looked through some dirty magazines and found out our preference so quickly. What I'd seen, there was mostly high-class girls in attendance, and none of them seemed mischievous or trendy enough to dye their hair. Most of these girls I'd encountered both at school and here at the dorm had black hair, so of course I was excited. It's funny because it's like such like a light fetish too. Like I wouldn't even say that's a fetish. That's just a preference. It's like she didn't really find anything that exciting. Not in any way worth mentioning. Jeez.
少なくともあやかっちにいてこまされても平気なのはそこが原因しょ。
That's how edgy. Whoa! Whoa! If I think about how much I'd like to grab onto that black hair version that I can ignore most of her nasty hair, that's crazy, brother. I like it. Crazy. Must have tickled her funny bone pretty hard as Reina proceeds to smack the bed and howl with
よ
laughter.
いせ。
She immediately started fiddling with her phone. Leon?
寮の子全員に送信しようと思って。転入生は黒髪ロングには無条件で優しいらしいよって。
Wow. She's gonna bruise my already tainted reputation. I quickly confiscated her cell phone. Once again, Reina broke out into an uncontrollable giggle fit.
いやー、でもならうちの学園は最高だよ。うちで髪染めてる子なんてほんのちょっとだもん。私と友達、あと彼女くらいかな。
Her? Who's her? At that moment. Oh my gosh,
ごめんな
is
さい。
somebody else?
もう読みません。
I didn't even realize he just disappeared. Brother was in the bathroom. He's like, I gotta analyze this. A lot of banging noise came from a neighboring wall.
あ
That
ー、
was...
壁ドンかっこ隣人編だね。騒ぎすぎた。
Guess we were being too loud, apparently. Sounds like Reina's laughter disturbed them. I'd heard this was one of the guest rooms. There's someone next door.
っていうか、オーロはゲストルーム使う2人目だから。
I mean, there was another transfer student before me. What are they like?
可愛い子だよ。仲良くなるのはちょっと無理なんだけど。
She's tough to get along with. Even you can't manage. If this concentrated mass of conventional prowess couldn't get along with her, then she sounded like a tough nut to crack, which we like around here, Ayaka being one of them. Maybe it would be best if I didn't get involved with
続き
her.
は静かに漁りますか。
I'll be quiet and keep fishing for
うちの
yourself.
段ボー
What?
ルは
How about you don't? That's how I felt. Ran and continued digging through my belongings and opened another box filled with basic sundries.
こっちはなんか普通。
Wow, crazy. Like, we have normal stuff. I'm just like everyone else, so that would only make
漫画
sense.
に漫画に漫画に漫画。あれだね。参考書的なブレは一切ないね。
Well, yeah, I'm an average guy.
うん。あ、これポストカード？
Crap, she saw. It was different from the manga or porn goods she'd seen before. These really were my personal items.
マリア・ビショップ。オーロも好きなんだ。
What? I figured she'd just ignore and move on, but she continued. You know her.
知ってるも何も最近人気じゃん。日本の音楽業界最後の歌姫って。
The last songstress. Yeah, they do. I responded as calmly as possible. The songstress Maria Bishop. Between CD and concert sales as well as online downloads, the Japanese music industry was unable to accurately tabulate one's popularity. However, everyone was talking about Maria Bishop. Fans seemed to lose their minds whenever a new song was announced online, too. So-called divas were big in Japan some time ago. They were rampantly commercialized with CDs and concerts the moment their name got out, and eventually be seen as nothing more than an amateur singer. We, the consumers, rejected that level of commercialization as hard as we could, but only the trillions of online views and hundreds of millions of downloads mattered, and they showed no signs of stopping. After simultaneously winning musical awards in America and the United Kingdom, Japanese TV stations and the internet became equally obsessed with Maria Bishop.
いいよねこの子。歌は綺麗だしこびないし。
She doesn't do talk shows or anything either. Maria would occasionally appear on television, but she'd never gone on the sort of programs hosted by entertainers or sunglasses-wearing old men. She'd simply sing one of her songs and then promptly leave. The fact she wasn't a sellout and made seldom appearances at massive venues of the last few years only made her seem more charismatic. You can even say she had kicked the stereotype held by the TV and music industry since the 80s, which felt that singers have to be engaging squarely in the butt.
財界でも有名です。事務所に迎えられれば経済効果は計り知れないとか。
でかい事務所ではないんだってね。個人そういうのに全部背を向けてるのもいいのよ。
まあそれはそれでそうした売り方もあるのですが。
She's incredibly beautiful, so I'm sure she made a killing off good sales alone. One thing I have not done.
設定画面好きに動
wanted
か
to
せ。
see. Text. What's the text speed? Is there a way to like? Let me see. I'm trying
コンフィグ
to.
設
I
定
can't tell
を
if this is making it. Okay, that's just making it fade even more. I wanted to turn it up, and I feel like it's already at the max. I'm like, I can't make it more thicker than this. I feel like this is very like thin. I just want to make sure it was readable for you guys. I don't know. Apparently I can't change it. I can't put it up more than that. Maybe it's up sure is great. She's fantastic.
黒髪ロングだしね。
She has long black hair. Don't say it. That may have been how she caught my eye in the first place. Her black hair, it looks so long it probably reached the floor when she stood upright. Then again, it was most definitely a wig or hair extensions, so it reached the floor. Maria Bishop, I had no interest in celebrities, but this was one girl I'd love to meet, even if just once. That's crazy. I wonder if we'll meet her.
やっと練習が終わった。久しぶりだから少々衰えていますね。迎えの約束まであと15分。よよ、まあよい。このくらいならあっという間に。何か物音が。こっちか。
Another blonde girl. Great.
失礼ながら、
And
あ
she's
な
a
たはノ
rebel.
ーブル学園の生徒で
We have like the emo blonde girl, which is kind of weird. I don't usually see like emo blonde. I'm like usually it'd be like black hair or something. Are you a student at Noble Academy?
あまあどちらにしろここはカレク喫煙は推奨できません。
You were smoking?
誰もいないと思ったのに。
We're not supposed to smoke at school? That means she was on the roof because somebody was smoking up there.
邪魔になったなら失敬。
行かないの？
迎えが来るまであと10分あります。10分間は見張らせていただく。邪魔に思われるやもしれないが、こちらもそうしたことを見逃せない性分ですので。
風情。
I mean, this would be a great place to smoke. What a nice view.
ここにはよく来られるので。
たまに。
良いところです。昼はとても景色が良くて空気もきれいで、夜は少し怖いですね。きれいはきれいですが、それ特に湖はもう真っ暗で。
落ちたら確実に死ぬからな。
If you fell in Yubitos, you better hope you don't. I mean, there's an island right over there. It seems like you could. I mean, obviously the fall would like hurt or possibly kill you, but it seems like there'd be places to go.
受水自殺ってどう思う？
Is this everyone's waifu? I could already tell this is a waifu because she's smoking and she's talking about killing herself. I'm like, oh, I can see people getting into her.
苦しいのかな？
文献によれば、この世で最も苦しい死に方は焼死。次が溺死だと聞きます。
ああ、死人が書いた本があるのかは知らないけど。
Don't know if there's any books by dead men, but I guess I'll believe it if it's from literature.
思考の私生活に踏み込むつもりはないが、 自殺はタバコ以上に推奨できませんよ。
わかってるよ。こっちだって死にたいわけじゃない。
I don't think I've ever played a visual novel that like had a character that was talking about just casually killing themselves. This is different.
ただここ、知ってるか？浜松湖湖畔。この湖はさ、永遠につながるってお話があんの。
永遠？
この湖に入ったものは、輝ける永遠の時間へ旅立つことになるって。まあ要するに、ここ湖の中でも海に近くてつながってるから、入ると海まで流されて永遠に漂うってことらしいけど。
ああ、なるほど。
でも永遠ってのは憧れるよな。
Are these two related by chance? Feels weird because they're both blonde and then they both have red eyes.
永遠の時間ってのは
I'm just trying to connect the dots. I'm like everyone's blonde. It's weird.
自殺はしないって。2番目に苦しい死に方が永遠になったら困るしな。
そうですか、永遠の時間。確かに憧れる言葉です。私にも昔そんな時があった。いつまでも続いてほしい時間が。
We're getting some really unexpected these are two characters I would assume wouldn't associate with each other unless they have like some kind of special connection outside of this moment, but this is not two characters I would expect to like have a scene like this. This is really interesting.
10分じゃね。
I feel like two very different people.
ですね。では私はこれで。
そう。
機会がありましたらまたいずれ。あと喫煙は勧められませんよ。
I like how she thought about it for a brief second and then just went right back to
ようや
smoking.
く笑けるもんが出てきた。
Well, that was a very interesting like scene break. Like I thought they were gonna like end the bedroom scene, but then they just kind of went straight back to it. I don't know. I found something super funny.
さあ、次は何が出るかな。
Raina continued to wrestle away for the boxes. Oh, it'd been pretty entertaining to watch, I guess, so it was okay. With that, Raina's eyes changed color.
何これ。ロマンスの神様出てきてない？
What do you mean her eyes changed color? Maybe the god of romance will pop out. The next thing Raina smugly took out was a tiny case. It's a small palm-sized box. It was a beautiful item lined with felt. She could probably guess what was inside based on...
こいつはあれだよね。ピアス的な、ネックレス的なのを入れるあれだよね。
Yeah, don't be too rough with it. That's...
しかも正方形。ピアスなら2つあるから長方形。ネックレスなら長細くなるはず。つまり指輪。
She opened it as enthusiastically as she could, but...
あれから
Idiot. She'd whipped back the cover with all of her
何
might.
にも入ってないじゃん。ねえオーロ。
Don't move.
すいません。おっぱいなんて見てません。
Brother is still back here, by the way. I cried out to Raina a little louder than I probably should have.
ごめん怒った。私。
Long as he's not looking at the crusty one, okay? Don't look at that one. It's probably good material, but don't look at it. It's tainted. Like I said, don't move. You either, Kiku Chio. I'm assuming... Let's see, alright, that's 2. You can move now, Kiku Chio. You can go back to your porno mag too. We're opening the box so quickly it caused the contents to spill and I went to pick them up. Okay, I assumed that's what he was doing. Because I'm like, what do you mean it's empty? They were paper, so air pressure would send them flying if opened
何
carelessly.
それ。ラブリッチマーク？
Loveriche emblems. They were silver Loveriche emblems that came with chocolate bolos. I only have 2, so don't be rough with them. It'd be awful if they got lost. I put them back in the box I used as their
ご
container.
めん。でもこんな綺麗な入れ物気になるじゃん。なんでこんな豪勢なもん使ってんのよ。
Well, yeah, it might be a little too stylish for a candy prize
お母
holder.
さんにでも空き箱をもらったの？
No, No, I found someone dropped it, so I went ahead and used
なん
it.
だゴミか。
It's not trash, but I guess you're not wrong. It had 10 years worth of sentimental value attached to it.
オロホラ
Orohora.
メーカーすら聞いたことない。
Me either. I looked into it, but it seemed to be a manufacturer that went under 30 years ago.
拾ったって言ってたけど、中身はその時からなかったわけ？
No, it wasn't, I think. I don't fully remember, but I just gave it to someone.
ルー、お待たせ。
Oh, no. Jump
シルビ
scare.
ー様、
ちょっと遅れちゃったわね。美味しいメロンパンがたくさんあったから。
そんなに食べたのですか？夕飯が食べられないのでは？
食べられるわ。
愚問でした。申し訳ありません。従者の私の送り迎えにシルビー様に遠回りしてもらうなど。
いいのよ。ここからうちの別荘じゃ車がないとさすがに遠いでしょ。それに私、夜のドライブは好きだわ。
I do too.
特に
sure.
この街の湖畔は夜景がすごく綺麗だし。
I know, I really like the Hamamatsu Lake right there. It's really nice. Landscape is very beautiful.
ですね。輝ける永遠。なんて表現にも負けないくらい綺麗な夜景です。
10年前から変わらない。初恋のあの人にも会えたらよかったのに。
Ooh, so we are the first love. We're the childhood crush, I
金
guess.
色ラブリッチェ。
On my first night away from home, the simultaneous excitement and uneasiness I felt, similar to being at a destination hotel, made it incredibly difficult to sleep. It was my first night here, so that was to be expected. The Noble Academy dorms were off the shore of Hamamatsu Lake. Considering how huge of a lake it was, I could hear the waves lapping against the shore from nearby. It was a strange feeling. No, wait, it was my first time sleeping in this bed and dorm room, but it wasn't my first time sleeping here. Was this building originally something too? Just like the church? It was along the shore of the Hamamatsu Lake. Maybe it used to be a hotel. Because it looks like one. Back then, wasn't the whole area a campsite? Oh, I recalled coming over here over spring break. The open field by the shore was spacious enough for setting up tents and made for the perfect place for kids to run around in. I remember coming here as part of the neighborhood association's camping event. It was an empty space that made for a great playground for kids that we would run around, cut loose, and play. Once we wore ourselves out, we'd lay down and fall asleep. Sometimes we'd go behind the adults' backs and hide until nightfall. Wouldn't it be awesome if we could stay together till morning? It's dark out. Are you scared?
ないです。全然怖くない。だってこんなにもキラキラしてます。お空がこんなに金色に。
We were sprawled out in an open field looking up at the night sky, so of course we'd nod off in no time. We got an earful every time the adults came looking for us, but that never stopped me. Getting to be with that girl made me so very happy. Just getting to be with her.
ねえ、イチ、
Because I knew it wouldn't last forever.
私たち
I
みん
knew
な
someday.
ずっと友達ですよね。
I would eventually have to say goodbye to her. But not forever. Because we're back. Huh? I woke up. And you know what? I think that's an excellent place to stop. We made it through our first day. Our first real 24 hours. And technically, yeah, I guess it was technically 24 hours. We got an introduction to the school. Such a private academy. This is such a nice school, and I feel like we're like in a luxury hotel right now. We managed to not get our arms cut off, and we didn't go to jail. So I would say that was a win. We did unfortunately get all of our private magazines raided though, so that's a loss. But otherwise, I think overall a pretty solid first day at school. Um, sorry, I'm still laughing at the thing about him having a preference for long black hair, and then it all makes sense now. Why we're set up here with Ayaka nearby. It's great. But yeah, the cast of characters seems pretty nice. I don't know if that red-haired girl, so they showed her for a brief second. She was in the lobby. Like, they just showed like a little portrait of her. I don't know if she's supposed to be one of the love interests too. Otherwise, it's just going to be all blonde and then one black-haired girl. Because I'm assuming the, I don't know if they said her name, the girl that was smoking out by the water. I'm assuming she's a love interest as well. So we have, is that 5? We have quite a bit, like 4 blondes, and one black-haired girl. And then I don't know if Maria Bishop is supposed to be one. There's a lot of potential girls here. I don't know how many routes exactly there's going to be, or who even has a route. Probably one of the characters I actually want to have a route probably won't, or something crazy like that. Anyways, though, I think this is a great place to stop, and I appreciate you guys watching. I'm definitely going to be continuing this. I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm curious to see where it's going to go. So anyways, you guys, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.